Today we're talking about Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Dude, I was infatuated with this movie and the character of Indiana Jones.
You know what's crazy? The first time I saw this movie was in After School Care.
Spider scene, which I'm pretty sure is solely responsible for giving an entire generation arachnophobia.
The original title was Indiana Smith.
Just say Smith again. It don't matter. None of this matters.
He should be doing 15 to 20.
He should have been doing 15 to 20. Shout out our Ferris Bueller
He was
episode.
doing 15 to 20.
You knew what you were doing.
I don't know if you guys are paying attention.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
You want to talk to God? Let's go see him together. I've got nothing better to do.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for. Today we're talking about Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I hate snakes, Chuck! I hate them!
And we're bringing back Mr. Gibbs. This is one of your movies, man,
Mr.
isn't
Gibbs.
it?
Yeah, I made this movie.
Gibbs made this movie all the way back in 1981. You know what's crazy? The first time I saw this movie was in After School Care for some reason. This is not an appropriate movie to show 6-year-old Chris in After School Care. I guess I was playing sports or with myself or something, and then I looked up and saw the end scene of the which we'll get to, the end of this movie, which scarred me from watching this for like 5 years. Like, I wouldn't go back and watch it. I was terrified of this movie. Leaf, what about you, man? Where do you first remember seeing this?
The first time I remember seeing this was probably in my rich friend Trey's basement. It was just after the Eyes Wide Shut party, dude. And
In between fight clubs.
Yeah, I only use that now because it's Shadwick's favorite thing. Like, you can see his
Smelled like
grin.
musk.
We like his dad had it on VHS, the latest, hottest technology at the time, and
His dad also had a lot of him and his mom on VHS.
Oddly enough, none of them were of him and his mom. It's him and some other lady.
Oh,
I believe it was a secretary, Karen.
yeah, and we watched it. We watched it do like in its entirety. Like, I think at one of the sleepovers, the numerous sleepovers I had at his house when I was a kid, dude, and it just instantly. Dude, I was infatuated with this movie and the character of Indiana Jones. Like, this was something that I remember.
A lot of kids were. I mean, I probably would have been too if I wasn't such a puss. Shadwick, what about you?
You know, on paper, like, this should like check all the boxes for me. Like, you know, archaeologists, you're going on adventures, you're going to different lands.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's some mysticism in it. Not a huge fan of this movie.
Really?
So I think I watched The Last Crusade first, and then I went back to watch this one and Temple of Doom. And, I mean, I was probably too young to watch any of them when I was watching them. So I think all of the globetrotting at a young age kind of confused me, maybe.
Probably.
And I just never, like, revisited it. So when I watched it, getting ready for this episode, it was kind of like watching for the first time. And still was just not great for me.
Really? I this was probably the first time I've sat down and, like, you know, studied it and watched it, but I enjoyed it a lot this time. I think just because it's simple, it's fun, you know. Gibbs, so where do you first remember seeing Indiana Jones and Gibbs?
The first time I saw Indiana Jones was I saw Temple of Doom whenever I was really young. My parents let me watch that, and I loved Indiana Jones right off the bat. Really in love with him. And then I saw Last Crusade in theaters. My mom took me to see it in Jensen Beach, and that reignited my love for it. And then I went back and watched Raiders of the Lost Ark because I didn't realize Raiders of the Lost Ark was an Indiana Jones movie because it wasn't called Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was just called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
So whenever I found out that there was another one, I watched it. And first time I watched it, I was kind of like Shadwick. I was kind of like, oh, I don't know about this one. But because a lot of the themes were a little bit too adult and some of the dialogue went over my head. I just didn't really get it. But whenever I watched it later on in life, I was like, oh, this might be the best. It's not, but it might be the best of the Indiana
Yeah.
Jones movies. It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
but it might be.
They kind of softened his character a little bit in the sequels too, right? Like
Yeah,
they made him
he's kind of
little.
a piece of shit.
He's not kind of a piece of shit. He is definitely a piece of
Listen.
shit. This man.
Yeah, he should be doing he should be doing 15 to 20.
He should have been doing 15 to 20. Shout out our Ferris Bueller
He was
episode.
doing 15 to 20. I don't know if you guys are paying attention.
he was doing 15 to 20, which led the MPA over to. Oh, Hollywood, just doing it right in front of our fucking faces. Anyway, today I actually put some whiskey in my coffee. I did look, though, because I don't care what the internet says when you have the back and forth between, what is it, Belloc and, what's the woman's character's name?
Marion?
Yeah, so when they have their drink off.
Yes.
I was reading online trying to figure out, what the fan theories were on it, and people were like, it's probably just brandy. And I'm like, y'all, that's moonshine or overproof if you're in Jamaica or whatever region. That's 140 proof shit they're
This
pounding.
takes place in Nepal. No. That's earlier in the movie.
Right.
That's in Tunisia or whatever. That takes place in Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
They're clearly.
See, I can't. I'm already lost.
They're clearly drinking fermented camel semen.
Obviously, which mine is not. It's
And
good
they're
old
not
number
even drinking it on ice.
Yeah, number 7, Jack Daniels, in my coffee. Leaf, dude, what do you got, man?
Dude, I got a booze watch for later on, but I'll save it for when we get there. But I'm drinking a little bit of Jack Daniels and Coke, dude.
Nice, dude. Jack Daniels, we're representing. Sponsor our fucking podcast.
We'll be in touch. Cheers.
Well, we've been sponsoring your brand for years.
Yeah, Jesus, my liver's been sponsoring you, man. Chadwick, what about you, dude? What do you got?
I'm not following suit, guys. Some asshole came over and left a whole bottle of Traveler,
Yeah.
and you can see I put a dent in it since then.
Yeah,
Is that the Loose Traveler?
That was a gift. That's what that was. That was a gift. Gibbs, man, bring us home.
Oh, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
I believe I left some Bud Light over there. Why aren't you drinking that?
Yeah, no joke.
You think it's still here?
No, I'm drinking some. It's called Can of Bliss.
Can of Bliss. Also
30
sponsor our
milligrams.
podcast.
Yeah,
They're
Can
local.
Blood Orange.
If you're in the Chattanooga area, go check out Cannabis, and then tell them Be Kind Let's Rewind sent you. And then when they're like, who'd be like, sponsor their podcast.
Yeah.
It's that easy, man. Also, shout out our Rewinder of the Month, Caleb. He was, we were talking on Patreon. He was, telling us, saying he enjoyed the podcast and everything. And then I made some wrestling comment, and he was like, dude, I knew this was Chris. And I was just like, nice. So he's a big wrestling fan. And then I was like, of course it's me answering all the messages. What the fuck else? Who else is going to do it? So,
That's you're the one that's replying to me all the time? I'm out.
I tried, and you're like, you cannot send that.
Yeah, I started saying, first of all, I'm the only other one on the podcast that can do it. I'm lazy, and Chadwick is banned from talking to others.
Bobby, you don't have what they call the social skills.
anyway, if you too would like to be a Rewinder of the Month, be sure to hit us up on social, Spotify. You can leave comments on the episode on Spotify, Facebook, TikTok, X, all the things, man. So, dude, Leaf, there's going to be a lot of these, but let's go ahead and kick off. Open this coffin that is boring-ass facts that's about to pour out.
Yeah, everybody settle in. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are uninitiated, Raiders of the Lost Ark is a 1981 American action-adventure film directed by Steven Spielberg and written by Lawrence Kasdan, based on a story by the infamous George Lucas and Philip Kaufman. And, dude, this film was the whole budget for the film was a mere $20 million. That's hard to believe, honestly.
Well, I mean,
considering
back in '80, that's a lot of money.
it's still a lot of money. You're right, and it pulled in a paltry sum of $389.9 million worldwide.
And it was impossible for them to get this even kicked off, and it was supposed to be a low budget film. Like that was like George Lucas's want he wanted it to be a low budget, like a serial back from like the olden days, and nobody would get it. And it took talking to Michael Eisner and basically promising like having penalties if they went over budget, went over schedule, did all that stuff. So like it blows my mind that one of like the greatest movies of all time or what is considered one of the greatest
Right.
movies of all time, had a hard time even getting greenlit.
The idea too for this is like when you have creative minds. The fact that like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are like vacationing together, just like nonchalantly in the 70s. So this was like what was on the DVD documentary. Guys, go buy your hard media. They said that they were in Hawaii on vacation. A New Hope was coming out, and so Lucas would always take a vacation, opening weekend. And then, he was kind of on pins and needles till the numbers rolled in. And then he was like, oh, I guess I can relax now. The rest of my life is taken care of. And
Easy
so
street.
they started kicking ideas
I'm
back
going to have
and forth.
nerds jacking off to me for the rest of my life.
Oh, you're bending it?
Yeah. And so they started kicking ideas back and forth. I think Spielberg wanted to do kind of a Bond thing. Lucas pitched back the Indiana Jones, archaeologist, everything, which, by the way, I kind of stuck my toe into being an archaeologist for a little bit to be like, hey, would this be something fun to do? Turns out a lot of digging, not a lot of whips, guns, Jurassic Park dinosaurs not there either. Kind of a boring gig, guys.
Yeah, man.
I tried it.
Yeah, and apparently there's a lot of gatekeepers too. Like,
Yeah.
like if you have a new theory or you introduce like new evidence or anything, people are like, no, this is how it is.
This is how it is. Like, we don't need actual science.
You're a
in this.
racist.
I'm looking at you, Flint Dibble. Fuck you.
So anyway, I just thought that was crazy. That's where this whole idea started off. And Indiana Jones, or Indiana, was Lucas's dog. So he named the character, and for our fans of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, which all 6 of you, the original title was Indiana Smith.
Just say Smith again. It don't matter. None of this matters.
They're like, Indiana Smith, that sounds way too white. Let's call him Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones is a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
No,
just say-
seriously, he goes up to George Lucas is like, yeah, what do you think about Indiana Smith? And Steven Spielberg's like, man, dude, I'm not really sold on that Smith thing. He's like, what about Jones? He's like, oh my fucking God.
Wasn't there a show called Alias Smith and Jones?
None of this matters.
Dude, so
Indiana
let's-
Smith sounds like someone that killed out the natives with smallpox.
That's
I
true.
mean,
My family has a blood vendetta against him.
dude, let's talk about some of the alternate casting for this. And by the alternate casting, I mean just the one and only that you can find online. That Tom Selleck was trying out to be Indiana Jones, and our favorite actress was with him too. A good old Sean Young was opposite of Tom Selleck in this. The real
Catwoman.
Yeah, it was opposite of him. I mean, to be honest, she did a great job in this. Tom Selleck did a great job in the audition. Even Spielberg said, "Hey, man, like they were good."
Yeah,
It's
no.
just-
Tom Selleck had the gig. He just had scheduling conflicts with CBS because Magnum had just been greenlit. Yeah.
Oh,
and
God.
and
that was,
so
and it was massive.
yeah, I mean it worked out well for both of them.
Yeah, it worked out for me because I don't think I would like this movie with Tom Selleck in it.
See,
I was going to say the same thing.
We're going to be at odds.
Shattuck's the odd man out for once.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not like the one. Like, dude.
I think I would have really enjoyed it more with Tom Selleck.
I would have hated it and never would have liked it. I think I like Tom Selleck in certain things. I just don't think he's a very strong actor.
What the hell's a shuto?
I don't think he has the charisma, and yeah, I don't.
Well,
I wouldn't
hold
buy
on.
him.
We're talking about Tom Selleck. Who are you talking about?
I'm sorry, Tom Selleck. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was my bad. But yeah, Tom Selleck. I'm saying I don't think he has
his charisma.
Hey, listen, don't. We'll put a baby's head on Tom Selleck too.
Yeah.
Don't even.
I don't think he's above.
Oh,
it.
that's gonna be a hairy chested fucking baby.
Yeah, I know that he was fantastic in Friends and 3 Men and a Little Baby, or 3 Men and a Little Lady, or whatever.
He's on that cop show.
Wasn't he in? He
Yeah,
was
that
in
Blue
Mr.
Bloods.
Baseball
Yeah.
though, right? That's like
He
my
was.
favorite sports movie.
Quickly Down Under was great.
Yeah, dude. He stacked him up. I think Tom Selleck, for me, he would have been too smooth. I think he's just too cool and smooth.
Yeah, it's
Even
it's almost like he's reading scripted lines when he's talking.
I'm not in a slump.
All you got to do, like we can let our viewers like decide because they're in the documentary. There's clips of him like auditioning, and he's giving his reads, and
he's too tall too. That's the problem.
In my
You
opinion,
shoot him weird.
I feel like he does. Like
he looks like an idiot without a mustache.
That's one thing.
He was born with that mustache.
Does Indiana Jones have a mustache? Like, if he's it, would he shave it? Like,
no, he would have had the mustache.
But like part of the charm, I think, of Harrison Ford playing this is throughout the movie, you see him trip and stumble, and there's some awkward edges, and it's not perfect. Like when I watched Tom Selleck in Magnum PI, and I know that's what he was. He was all that was cool in there. It was just smooth, like everything he's ever been in. Even in Mr. Baseball, he was. Just seems smooth to me, where he's not.
I'm not in a shrump.
He was not in a shrump. He let them know that he was definitely not in a shrump, man. So
I agree, and I want to talk about the Indiana Jones character right fast before we move too far, because since this is our first Indiana Jones movie that we've covered on the podcast, like the character itself is very, very flawed, right? Like he is sort of a loser, like in certain ways. Like he's very intelligent. He's very driven. He's sarcastic. He's mean.
The ladies love him.
He beat that statutory rap, though.
Can we get through an episode without that word being used?
Why does it have to happen?
I said rap.
I think that's what makes Indiana Jones so likable and so relatable, is that he is a flawed character. I hate perfection. There's no such thing. Everybody does horrible shit.
I had it in my hand.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. He also regretted it. He felt like remorse and shit. Like, but also at the same time, he's got shit to do. He can't sit here and dwell on the past. Come on, Marion, give him the goddamn fucking medallion.
He also revisited it.
Yeah, I mean that's what you should.
Yeah,
do.
but she was okay at that time, and it was in Nepal and Cairo. I'm sorry, man. Cairo is in Illinois. I'm sorry.
It is the same price, man. So, I think that's a good point, Leaf and Gibbs. That is a flawed character that makes it kind of lovable, because when it's like Gibbs is saying, when something's completely perfect, like you can almost see yourself being Indiana Jones watching this. How many of us as kids played as Indiana Jones? How many whips were sold because of Indiana Jones and those hats because of Indiana Jones? Like. That's a big deal, because people wanted to be him.
Yeah, and throughout the film, like he's not like this clean Bond, like James Bond type character, right? Mm-hmm. Which I think you mentioned earlier. That's kind of the film that Steven Spielberg wanted to like lean into. So he got that, but only he got it in the American version. Like this character's not really smooth. He's down and dirty. Even his outfit, which became famous, by the way. I mean, pretty sure worldwide you could see the silhouette of Indiana Jones, and people could figure out who it was.
He single-handedly brought back the fedora.
Dude, I know, right? And that's one of the some of the back scenes research that I did. The wardrobe person that was tasked with designing his character, like, wanted something that was like comfortable, that you could see yourself wearing, like on basically any adventure. And that's what that was designed. His hat was like worn, his leather jacket. Like, I'm pretty sure she said that she sat by like the pool with Harrison Ford, and they rubbed steel wool to make it look worn and like
they sat on the hat. They both like broke it in with
like
dirt,
messed it up to give him that look. Like he's had like when you meet the character,
that's his shit he wears, right? It's like when we wear baseball hats and you get the sweat ring. That's basically what that is.
I like, speaking of his flaws, though, I like how nothing comes easy to him. Like every, physical feat that he does, there's always like a stumble or a trip, or
that's what I'm saying.
He can't jump quite far enough.
It's always
that's
a struggle. Good. It's not. It's it's you always feel like there are stakes involved whenever he's doing anything. Like he's constantly in peril, and you feel the fright, the urgency. In every scene that he's in. It's part direction. It's part set design, and it's in a lot has to do with performance.
Right.
You can see it in his face. Like he does scared really well.
Yeah. He does, and and his whole outfit, his demeanor, everything. When you watch this first movie, what we're about to get into, you get the feeling he's already been on like 1,000 adventures.
Right.
His clothes, he is wise, he's world weary, he's like obviously an intelligent, educated person, but he's done this before. When you start to see him in these first scenes, like
you can't fuck with him. Like out of the gate, they go ahead and set up like don't fuck with Indiana Jones. Like,
yeah,
he's not,
dude,
he's not your normal archaeologist just digging in the dirt when Chris went to intern for a week.
He almost seems like exasperated and bothered by the whole situation whenever the what is it, the FBI that approaches him?
Yeah.
Or whatever, they like, you can tell that he's just like, shit, I've been through all this shit before. Like, what the fuck, you know? Like, you, without having to spell out the history, you get a whole lot of history from him.
Yes.
You guys touched on the costume design. What I thought was really interesting was the sound design. Some of the sound effects that they came up with, like his punch, they wanted like a heavy-handed punch.
Yeah.
So it was actually like several leather jackets hanging, and then like slapping it with a baseball mitt.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like when you hear, and then once you read that, then you can't unhear it when you're watching the movie. Now you're like, now it's ruined.
And like his
I love it.
His is it a revolver that he has?
Yeah,
but the sound is from a rifle. So I guess it sounds a lot more a lot
meaty.
Well,
and
it has more girth to it. Before we
the rolling boulder, just one more real quick.
Yeah.
They tested several different actual boulders rolling, and they could not get the sound right. They ended up, I think the sound designers were just driving down a road, like a dirt road, and just the sound of the wheels on the gravel and the dirt. They're
That
like,
hum.
oh, that's it. So
wow.
yeah, that's
really
what it,
freaking
I love that,
That's
dude.
freaking crazy, man.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the movie, I want to shout out my homeboy Ben. I'm gonna tag at the very end of this a little chat me and him had, but he actually did a little documentary where he flew to Hawaii with one of his buddies.
Yeah.
Got to meet the casting director for Indiana Jones. Visited a lot of the sites that they from this opening scene. These are shot in Hawaii, so he got to visit a lot of the sites where they shot stuff. Some of it's still private, so you can't go there. Some of the shots were from a little far away, but he put together like a 40-minute little mini doc on it, man. Did a great job. Got to talk to one of Harrison Ford's stand-ins, you know, for the wide shots and things like that. So pretty cool little thing my homeboy Ben did on this.
Nice.
But yeah, it was opening scene shot in Hawaii, and a lot of stuff's still there. You can go visit it, man. The casting director, I've got to say, go watch that doc just for the casting director. That dude was he was all about it. He had some fun stories. So anyway, man, Leaf, let's jump into this opening scene.
Absolutely. So scene one, as Chris mentioned, we are in the jungles of Peru on an expedition, and of course we meet immediately archaeologist Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford, and he's leading a dangerous expedition with native guides in tow. And they encounter like a hidden temple that obviously they're searching for. And when they see the carvings and the markings, many of them immediately flee. Except for two. Sapito and Barranca, played by Alfred Molina. Y'all remember him as Dr. Octopus.
Yeah. Lee said that we're immediately introduced to Indiana Jones, but what I thought was actually really good is he's in this first scene all the way through it, but you don't actually see him until like after the 3-minute mark.
Yeah,
you just see like silhouettes. You see him from behind.
Yeah,
and it's not until he uses the whip and then he comes out of the shadow. That's one of those great little Spielberg reveals.
Great reveal. Spielberg does such an amazing job of directing the action, following several things without cutting. Like he knows how to plot a film, even if there's not actually action going on. Like he'll be following a piece of paper, and it's like, holy shit, that was really cool what that piece of paper did. You know, like he draws you in with the camera, and I think that it's such a skill. And by hiding Indiana Jones, even though you've never met this fucking guy before, you know he's a hero the second you see him.
And it's cool as shit too. Like going back and watching this now, because the hat and the getup is so iconic. Like it's just cool to see the silhouette of the hat, or see him from behind. You know, just this just iconic wardrobe like we talked about
Yeah,
earlier.
he just instantly looks cool. Like Chadwick and Gibbs said, when he comes out of the shadows, you're just like immediately like that dude is cool.
Dude,
like,
Harrison Ford's a good looking dude, man.
Especially when in his younger days, like he was definitely
I don't know. When I saw him, I was like, I wish that was a guy with a mustache. Maybe a little taller with more charisma.
See, if I had seen a guy with a mustache, I would have turned the fucking movie off and then shit all over the goddamn movie. And then thrown the shitty fucking VHS tape at my mom and been like, what the fuck, Mom?
Not all guys with mustaches are like that dude from summer camp, Gibbs.
Dude, Shadwick's going to use all of our AI
I thought
credits
he was really nice.
to put Tom Selleck in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I dare you to put the thumbnail as Tom Selleck as Indiana Jones.
I will fucking boycott this goddamn.
Done.
All right, so immediately, so we're introduced to Indiana Jones, but like he is instantly betrayed in the first like few minutes of the film.
I'm gonna have him talking to Short Round and be like, I'm not in a shrump.
So
I'm back in.
Yeah,
sold. You sold me.
This is back in.
Yeah, so it's not even too many minutes into the film, and Indiana Jones is instantly betrayed by the other character, Barranca, played by Vic Taliban, and he tries to just shoot him in the back, like just pulls out a gun, and is just like gonna blast him, and Indiana Jones pulls out the first time we get to see it, his characteristic bull whip. Yes, and he whips it out of the gun out of his hand, and the guy flees into the jungle, and like we're left
Just whip this out.
Do what he say. Do what he say.
So we're basically down to one sidekick.
Nobody's come out of there alive. Please.
I mean, he's got one of my favorite scenes, which we'll get to in just a second, but that just the shot with no lines of him staring.
Yeah.
And he plays like, so he's the last man standing to help Indiana Jones as they go into this ancient ruin, this temple. As they enter, they start to navigate through deadly traps and spikes, pits, poison darts, all collapsing floors, everything that like people have stolen. You know, shout out Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
Okay, I was going to say, did we get Tomb Raider because of Indiana Jones?
Yes,
I'm sure.
And we got National Treasure because of Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to play devil's advocate here for a second. So, is there a guy that his like on his rounds he's delivering compressed air that's shooting these darts out? So is it like, I've got to go back to the temple this week and refill their air? I don't know what these guys are doing. They use a lot of compressed air in there. And is there like an arrow guy that goes in and he's just like, we got like 4 deaths this week, I'm gonna go ahead and refill the arrows?
No, I mean it's basically like a vending machine guy. Like he just goes by, if it's been used, he refills them, and then
he collects the quarters out
he
of
collects
the
the quarters and leaves. Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Does he like chart it like used 14 this week?
Yeah. I like it. So that's okay. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yes, dude. But in this scene, we get the infamous spider scene, which I'm pretty sure is solely responsible for giving an entire generation arachnophobia. They are at one point in time, both Indiana Jones and Sapato are like covered in.
Do you know that?
Spiders.
So only some of those were real spiders. So they're not poisonous. They're not dangerous to humans, but they're cannibalistic. They'll eat each other. So they had to separate the real spiders with fake spiders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only that, the spiders at first would not move. Mm-hmm. They put them on and everything, and they would not move. And it turns out that they were all like dude spiders or female spiders. I don't know. And then they were like, "What the hell's going on?" And the guy's like, you got to throw in something from the opposite sex. And once they did, they fucking went crazy.
I'm telling you right now, like that scene, even still watching that now. Yeah, now watch that scene. it gives me the heebie-jeebies, and probably
Or
just
maybe
when I
it's
was
just the Tom Selleck of spiders.
and
You see it, and you're just like Ryan Reynolds, like, ugh.
yeah. Once we started to get over it, then they released that little movie Arachnophobia.
Which that one was what
yeah,
fucked me
I was like,
up.
dadgummit, but this is it's terrified seeing those monster spiders. I mean, I guess like if we lived in Australia, it wouldn't be a big deal.
No, you just
like that's just normal. Shout out my homeboy Travis. That's just like a normal day for them out there.
Jesus, dude. That's like living in the land before time down in
Dude,
Australia. But
all those damn spiders, nope.
I'm scared of spiders, Coach.
they navigate their way through the temple in the ancient ruin until they arrive, obviously, at one of the most memed scenes in the history of ever. Where the golden idol sits atop a pedestal, right? And before you actually see Indiana Jones filling his little bag with sand.
Bag of sand.
Before he goes into the temple, which I thought I'd never caught that before. I thought
Yeah,
he
I
had
didn't
it in
either.
there with him, yeah. And you see him sort of weighing out, like he already expects this trap to exist. And I thought that was fascinating.
He's
I
done
never
some research. I saw what the because it has lights coming out of it too. I think like for the back shot, so that everything that's like lit up. But they showed them take this thing apart, and it had like wires and shit in there.
Yeah.
But I guess it's based loosely off a fertility god, and they made it more ergonomic to carry. Basically, they made the back end of it a football, which he actually has a nice little. He holds it like a football after
Also,
this, like once he picks it up.
Yeah.
If you guys do end up watching The Burrows on Netflix, we're not sponsored by Netflix, but if they want to sponsor us, that's
Not yet.
fine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt. But Alfred Molina's in it, and you actually do see the idol at one point as an Easter egg in the show.
No
really?
way.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
you feel
awesome.
like you sharp-eyed.
Well,
Right.
since Gibbs is calling stuff back, I want to go back to Australia real quick. Is that why everybody from Australia is so goddamn beautiful? Like it's survival of the fittest. Like
Yeah,
It is,
all
man.
the ugly, stupid people died, and
Yeah.
and then you just have Margot Robbie's and Hemsworths coming out
Yeah,
there.
just running around because they're the only ones that can survive. So
Margot Robbie.
We're not gonna be friends.
he does weigh it out, grabs the golden idol, and then this one I think is I don't know if they still do it at Universal or the Boulder scene is there in their live action.
It's at Disney.
Is it Disney?
Is it Disney?
Okay, so
Yeah.
they have the
Oh, because they own everything.
yeah, that's true. So they have the Boulder scene there, which I think I saw one where they actually like smashed the dude and they had to stop the show or whatever. But
That's part of the show, I believe. Yeah,
But, like,
he's.
But yeah, it's something that's been going on. Again, this came out in '81, so it's 45 years, since this movie came out. So I mean, like that stuff is still like Leaf said, the meme of him grabbing like the
bag of sand, yeah, and the idol, and then
like,
obviously
that like 45 years later, that shit is everywhere still. Like
Yeah.
that's just crazy to me.
it's insane that how iconic that this scene is. I think it's one of the most like in the history of film. And Gibbs mentioned that before. There's just moments in this film that just live in infamy and all. In no matter what it is you're talking about, like this film is in the conversation of like most remembered and talked about in some of these scenes. And so as Indy tries to replace the sandbag with the idol, it sets the trap off. And this is again the flawed character. Like he fails right here. He doesn't weigh out the sand
Didn't
heavy
eyeball it well enough.
He didn't do it. Yeah, he didn't guess correctly. And now the whole temple starts to come down around him and his native guide, and they start to flee. He's whipped like a section, and they have to like swing across, and he is, of course, instantly betrayed.
Like Pitfall, the Atari
yes.
game that was probably inspired by this.
Sure
It wasn't. It was indeed.
Throw me the idol, I throw you the whip. Give me the whip. Adios, senor.
He's betrayed. He gives the idol to Sepito, but like he basically is left for dead, and Indiana Jones is forced to jump across this big chasm. Like Chris mentioned, he barely makes it.
To Gibbs's point, he can't clear it. Like
No.
he's got to take. He barely can hold on. He takes a shot in the chest from the side of the jump. Like I love.
And even like he grabs the root and he's like, oh, thank God. And then the root like slipping.
Yeah, dude. It just suspense the entire way for us as the audience.
Because the door is closing. Like
Yep.
he is literally pressed for time, like as the temple is sealing itself off almost. And so he has this limited amount of time. He's able to barely make it through. Of course, Saputo,
he reaches back for his whip too, as it's like that's kind of a
Yeah.
they use that in future Indiana Jones.
They do,
where
yeah.
he
His
reaches
outfit is
under
part
the
of
door.
They changed it to the hat later, right?
Right, yeah.
Yes,
But this is like the
yes.
first time he did that. And I mean, like, look, dude, Rube Goldberg, these ancient cultures really had a Rube Goldberg set up. They knew what was going on, man.
They knew what they were doing.
Rube Goldberg's my favorite wrestler.
They really inspired the pirates from the Goonies also.
They did. They were like, wow, these guys really know what's going on, man. So so he gets
they
outside.
were Peruvian
Leaf.
pirates.
And who does he see when he gets outside, Leaf?
Well,
we don't know because it looks nothing like Alfred Molina.
No. Yeah.
As he's running out, Alfred Molina is instantly impaled by one of the traps in one of the most goofiest like things you've ever seen. He's clearly like a plastic or
He decayed a lot in about 10 seconds.
You'd look a little different if you got impaled.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And so Indiana Jones. He's as he's running away, we get the famous Boulder scene, which we mentioned, right? Like he's just, and it's rolling like it's about to crush him. He manages to escape though, right? And outside he encounters a disgusting Frenchman named Rene Belloc, played by Paul Freeman.
I just gotta say real quick, Belloc. He looks like the reason JCPenney's coming to town.
Christ, J.C. Penney is coming here because of me. You ask anybody, they'll tell you.
Ask anybody.
yeah, ask anybody. Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, this Paul Freeman, I think they brought him back on a casting call, and they were like, can you do a French accent? And then so he had to come I forgot where he was. He had flown home, and he had to fly all the way back to Spielberg, and he just spoke in French for like 3 seconds. Spielberg's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you got it.
That guy was, you know that guy was sweating bullets, like
Dude,
when they were
that's
like,
crazy.
He's like, as you do.
Yeah. He's like, what happened to the jazz music?
He's like, I got the job. Thank God I don't have to refill those fucking darts anymore.
That's a good
menage
point.
a trois.
Like Jim says, he moved up from the dart guy. Now he can be this guy.
Outside Barranca, the guy that I didn't mention this, but real quick, Barranca, the guy that tries to shoot Indy in the very first scene. He's like standing there, and you just see him fall over dead, like into the face first into the dirt. He's got like 50 poison arrows in his back.
Oh, God.
That shit makes me laugh every single time.
Same.
I cracked up.
Family Guy parodied that with Meg.
Peter, I think we forgot Meg.
Yeah, there's actually a deleted scene where they show him getting hit with all the darts, and he's like, 50 darts is too much.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you got a dart in your neck.
Fucking dart in your neck.
But
crazy.
We meet one of our main antagonists again, Rene Belloc, who immediately steals the idol from Indiana Jones with a famous line.
Again, we see there is nothing you can possess which I cannot take away.
And you just immediately hate this guy. It's not just because he's French. That's part of it. But mostly it's because, like, he's just a bad guy. And
Like,
while he's...
who do we need villains?
Yeah.
Hollywood's like, Germans, French. Yeah, we're good. Let's go.
British.
It's a shortcut. You don't have to explain a whole lot.
Yeah.
Can't you just imagine, like, he knows that Indy's going to these places, so he's just sitting outside, like, just like picking his nails, like, just waiting for him to
Smoking
come
a cigarette.
Oh, it's
humming some show tunes.
Yeah.
He's like going through Facebook, just
He's like, take you good, to take you bad, the facts of life. What happened to the jazz music?
And Paul Freeman does such a good job,
He does,
dude. He's
man.
so arrogant, man, and you hate him. He steals Indy's golden idol that he barely managed to get away, like, from all these
Had it
traps.
in his hands, man.
He had it was so close, dude. And but luckily, while Rene is celebrating, Indy escapes into the jungle, and Rene Belloc orders his native conscripts to.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
To
universal
kill.
language.
Yeah.
not in the NFL. Can't do that.
It's a fine, sir.
Yeah. So they chase him. They give chase, and Indy.
This country used to be great.
Anyways, Indy barely managed to escape aboard a seaplane, which was waiting for him. His friend Jacques takes off. Jacques is played by Fred Sorensen. Which side note, Gibbs will like this. He was on our Jurassic Park episode. Sorensen is actually the pilot who flew off Kauai when the hurricane hit during the production of Jurassic Park in '93. He was
Steven Spielberg hookup again.
Yeah, dude. And so like this is like one of his only acting credits, but this guy and as
he does a great job. He doesn't exactly phone this line in at all, except for he completely phones this line in.
Oh, that's just my pet snake, Reggie.
But this is where it's established that Indiana Jones's character does not like snakes because evidently Jock has a pet snake.
What the fuck is he supposed to do with his pet snake? Of course he needs to put it in the cockpit, giggity.
Yeah, right. And so Indy's freaking out. He's like, "There's a snake in here. There's a snake in me boot." And and so like this
reach
foreshadowing
for the sky.
Yeah, there's foreshadowing here about Indiana Jones and snakes.
I hate snakes, Chuck. I hate them.
He didn't have any problem with spiders crawling all over him, but
hey, we all have our weaknesses, and that's what's good about this character.
Sometimes you like seeing the tongue go the other way.
Yeah, and so he flies out safely, escaping death yet again. So he's already had like multiple narrow escapes in the film, as you know, as is Indiana Jones's character.
And he was so close, man. He even because where does it cut to next? Where is he at?
We're back in America, dude. Like in the
where's that?
This is in the Marshall College, I believe.
Oh, they had that movie called We Were Marshall.
Yeah. Just keep them away from the fucking planes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Planes then go right back to Marshall College. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, dude! Fred Sorensen wasn't flying the Marshall plane, was he?
Thanks, Norm. This is all Norm's fault.
Yeah, thanks, man. But this is where we get what. This is the first time we get a backstory about Indy's character, like about who he is. Obviously, up until this point, like everybody knows him. But if you're watching the film for the first time, he's just some guy who was like trying to like procure this artifact.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shock when it goes from you think he's this adventurer in the jungle that it just cuts to him in the freaking classroom.
You're a freaking teacher.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what? Is this like a before or no? It's dude.
Yeah,
it's just his side hustle is almost getting murdered on the weekend
by natives.
Well, I think his side hustle is all these young female students,
these co-eds. Yeah, so he has another life.
You give me $10.
He has another life as a college professor, much to the delight, as Shavik said, the young co-eds. And we get a lot about Indy's backstory. Like, not only is he an archaeologist, but he's a treasure hunter. He's an expert on the occult and the supernatural. He's an obtainer of rare antiquities, which he steals from native lands and sells to museums run by rich white people. He's just the classic character, dude. Because it belongs.
Leaf was watching that part, and he's like,
Does it say?
I laughed.
Does it say that he's atheist? He says that he doesn't believe in some of this stuff, but I don't know if he's just meaning like the supernatural stuff. Or
this is where I think he's literally like the Han Solo character, because in Star Wars he literally tells like Luke Skywalker that he doesn't believe in any hocus pocus or mumbo jumbo, that like a lightsaber and a crazy religion's no good replacement for a blaster. That's one of his lines in the film, basically meaning like he doesn't believe in that shit. He basically echoes that exact same character in this film. Like Harrison Ford is literally like, I don't believe in any supernatural nonsense. I don't go in for any of that. He's just a science-based guy. So he never says he's an atheist, but he just doesn't believe in a lot of the old tales and myths.
Right. But you do get that he's like a gun, like you said, kind of jokingly, but he's a gun for hire, more or less, for people trying to obtain these rare things. And I mean, like, he wants to preserve a lot of them, right? I guess is kind of what he's trying to do for the museums and things.
You can't believe in everything. Like, you really can't. You can't be like, oh, well, I believe everything the Zoroastrians say, but I don't believe what the fucking Incans say.
Yeah,
I mean, you cannot fucking
point.
just believe everything. So if he's a Christian, he's probably going to believe in the Christian shit. If he's not, he's not.
Yeah,
you
good
know,
point.
like I think that he does a really good job of evolving and allowing for the possibility of truth, or for it to be true. But I think like he's a lot like me. I want to see evidence.
Just shut up. We're going to get canceled, you idiots. Just stop and shut the fuck up.
I think he's skeptical. Yeah.
I do like they have these quick camera shots that I picked up the second time around. Like, obviously in the classroom, love you on the eyelids or whatever. But like the entire,
I've always hated that.
The entire classroom is basically women, except for this one dude that like walks out to leaves the apple, and he's like, "See you later."
I noticed that guy too. He puts an apple on Harrison Ford. He's like,
this could have been a beautiful picture about the special friendship between a mature, masculine older man and a tender, ripening, consenting young man.
Call me.
Yeah.
It's so funny, dude. Right after this scene, we meet his fellow archaeologist, Marcus Brody, played by Denholm Elliott, the actual legitimate British character, like in the film, who is he's obsessed, of course, with all things archaeology. He's not only Indiana Jones' friend, but he helps him a lot of his adventures. He's a little older in the film, so you kind of get the feeling he's like sort of retired from the adventure business, but he's more than willing to help Indy in all of his adventures.
Yeah, he'll refer people to Indy.
Yes.
Denholm Elliott has also appeared in this podcast before, in the Trading Places episode.
You want me to break something else? No.
There you go. Nice.
That's right, dude. Yes,
he also reminds me of Crocodile Dundee's dim-witted friend.
Aborigines call him Jabba, which means the crocodile who walks like a man.
Yes, and so he has something for Indy. He tells Indy that, there's some United States intelligence officers who want to speak to him, and takes Indy to meet them, and they tell an interesting tale. It turns out that the Germans are interested. Again, for those who don't remember, this takes place in the late 1930s. That's the time frame where we're at. The Germans are interested in they've taken an interest in searching for all kinds of ancient artifacts to help them in their conquests. And specifically, they're looking for the Lost Ark of the Covenant in and around Egypt. And a rare headpiece to the staff of Ra, which once it's assembled will point the location to the Ark of the Covenant, located somewhere in a place known as the Well of Souls.
I may be wrong on this because I'm not plugged into the video game world at all. Was there ever, because this is set up for an awesome video game, Conquest. Did anyone ever make a video game for Indiana Jones?
It's called
there was an Atari game.
I remember the Atari one. I was talking about maybe later generation consoles where you could really kind of get in the weeds on it.
There's multiple.
There's Lego. The Lego games are awesome.
Yeah, those are fun.
You're right, Chris. The whole movie is like a video game. Like you solve one problem and then you go to the next level and you have to solve another problem. And even with the fights, it seems like you deal with like the smaller guys, and then you have the
big
boss.
Guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's kind of how the movie came about. Like, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas had a bunch of set pieces basically, and ideas for this would be cool, this would be cool, this would be cool, and that's when they brought in Lawrence Kasdan to kind of put it together. It took them 5 months to make a narrative thread between one set piece to another in order to come out with it.
It's so good, man.
Which normally I think that would be the worst possible way to make a movie, but somehow it worked out. And
I mean, they could do no wrong. Lucas and Spielberg back then. I mean, you're coming with Spielberg coming off Jaws 2 as well, not Jaws 2, but Jaws in '75, and then A New Hope.
Well,
Like, these dudes are
Star
swinging big
Wars.
sticks.
Well,
Yeah.
at this point, Spielberg was kind of a liability. He had two pretty bad flops right before, including 1941, which came out right before this.
yeah.
And that one's probably the only Steven Spielberg movie I don't care to revisit.
You know, I haven't seen that, but just researching this, I heard some high praise for that's underrated. So
it's probably at this point is underrated because so many people fucking hate it, including myself. I wouldn't say I hate it. I just don't.
It's not good.
It's not for me.
Well, this would be a good time to promote next week. We're going to cover Close Encounters of the Third Kind because Steven Spielberg has his new movie Disclosure Day coming out, which I'm hearing is being touted as one of his best films ever.
Nice.
Yeah,
So we're looking forward to it. So tune in next
so.
week for that, Leaf. Back to where we're at, man, because Indy's about to be on a mission.
Yeah, so basically we find out again the Germans are after this rare staff of raw because once they find it, once they assemble it, it will point to the location of the Ark of the Covenant, which of course the Germans would love to use as a weapon. I don't know, perhaps in a war against the world.
So you think that would last about 5 seconds and the world would fucking win and, that'd be that. But it was actually close.
They chose the world twice.
Twice.
So maybe I missed it, but I know Indy says at this point when he's talking about the staff, he's like, it's about yay high. And nobody knows exactly how high it is or how tall it is.
Yeah.
How does he figure that out? Because go ahead.
So later on in the film, the medallion has the instructions on how to assemble the staff and how to build it. Okay. And so that's why he needs the medallion. The medallion is the key.
So everybody had assumed at this point, like, what it was, I think, is like through research or whatever, everybody came to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
But then you find out they were wrong.
Right. And exactly. And so, shout out, by the way, in this scene is one of the agents you may recognize as a very much thinner Eckhart from Batman '89.
He's obsessed with the occult.
No.
Yes, it's him. It's William Hootkins.
Think about the future Jack. That guy?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Holy shit. I didn't know that. That's cool.
He's so much
no future Jack.
It's crazy because he is so much thinner, but he's still fat as hell. Like in this, dude.
He's got that fat face, man.
He's just big, man. It's just what he is, though. So
Where
Indy,
you been spending your nights?
I'm going to have to watch it again just to watch that.
That's that one part.
Yes, that's him, dude. That's Mr. Hootkins, William Hootkins from Max Eckhart, Batman '89. But the mission begins. Indy rushes back to his house. Obviously, his friend Marcus Brody comes back with him, and they're excited because obviously the United States cannot let the Germans have this incredible potential weapon. So they've tasked Indiana Jones with going and finding it.
Even though the Germans took that sacred symbol of peace and used that as their flag.
yes,
dude.
And the U.S. government hadn't figured out how to bait Japan into bombing Pearl Harbor yet, so we couldn't get completely involved.
Right.
So at least we finally worked that out.
Yeah.
So back.
I'm not in a strong.
Yeah, this takes place in like 1935, right? So this is like 6 years before our U.S. involvement in World War II.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
So we had to be behind the scenes, incognitus.
Officially, Gibbs. Yeah. Officially, yes. And so you ask yourself, where does Indiana Jones start to find the medallion or the headpiece of the Staff of Ra? Well, it turns out he has a friend named Marion Ravenwood, daughter of his old mentor Abner Ravenwood, who is an expert in all things Jew. I don't know why. That was funny to me, but I wrote it like that. So he boards a plane. Indy boards a plane to Nepal, and dude, all is well. He's found the location of his friend Marion. And he goes to see her. Obviously, again,
I do like when he gets on the plane. You do get the pan, the ominous pan when he's in the plane to see
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a villain there following him.
Yes.
Like, oh no,
dude! Immediately, there's like a German agent like on the plane, like it's just very German, man. Side note, dude. What have we lost on planes, brother?
Everything.
When he gets on that plane, the seats are big and cushy. Like there's a guy dressed up as a bellhop, like serving drinks,
free drinks,
free drinks immediately.
Know you were in for
the
a good
last
time on a flight.
last time I flew first class. Last time I flew first class.
Yeah.
And
You on the floor like rolling around and shit. Oh, gee, you called the captain the N-word.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
You know what I just realized? This was probably filming in the late 70s, right? 79, maybe 80.
80, yeah.
So we're not that far removed from all of the atrocities that Germany bestowed on these people. And we have Steven Spielberg, a Jewish director, directing this movie.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of hits home, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, man, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely villainizes
Nazis
for good reason.
Yeah.
in a lot of his films.
He
And
does.
he went on to make Last Crusade, which also had the
Nazis.
Then Schindler's List a few years later, and then Saving Ryan's Privates. You know, so like
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely stayed in this lane for a lot of his movies.
Well,
for sure.
it makes a very, very compelling like backstory because like there's this incredible amount of like evil happening and there's a lot of action like going on. And
To Gibbs's point, it's a real easy plug and play villain. Like you don't have to give a lot of background.
no
to be
explanation.
Like, Germans. Okay.
Maybe you have to explain to the Germans why it's bad.
Also, to Lee's point,
My apologies to the Germans.
Also, to Lee's point, off air, YouTube is going to bury this if we keep using that word. So can we just start calling them?
I know he's a little rough around the edges, but let me work.
So this is where he does get to go back to the bar, where you get to see the bar, where you get. This is where we get introduced to Marion, right?
Yeah. So Indy finds Marion again in a bar, running a bar in Nepal. Marion played.
She may have a problem.
We got it.
She may have a superpower.
Marion, played by Karen Allen. As a kid, I'm sorry, I'd always get her confused with Margot Kidder.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sorry.
it's too early to put the clip and bring it back, but it actually does lead me over to shit stuck in my head this week.
Oh no!
Where you guys been? We've been waiting here forever already.
Squids was perving a dish.
There it is. Because she is the mom from Sandlot.
Yeah.
Squints was perving a dish. Dude, through
She
these
was
movies.
also in your Scrooged episode.
Scrooged, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So we've learned pervin dish. We've learned wool as of recently. Like,
Yes.
you know, we're learning broads. We're bringing it back. These old movies are
They're hitting.
They're helping us out a lot in our,
They really
our
are,
social
man.
lives.
And she's
Also, I'm looking for a job now.
You know what? I was telling my wife about the whole discussion we had about brides, and she kind of just dropped her arms and looked at me, and she's like, "I've been a broad my whole life." she's like, I always had like more guy friends. I'm like, I know that's why we're cool.
She was like,
don't you? Like, God, I love you.
Yeah. But she's like, don't you ever call me a dame, you fuck.
That's where she draws the line.
That's where she draws the line, see?
I always call my wife sweet cheeks and sugar tits.
Tits, yeah.
Toots is usually what I use. But dude, in this
and when
scene,
she's not around, I say,
And you said that?
You said that.
I said it. I swear to God, I said.
You said that.
Yeah, I said that, man. So, like you said, you get the introduction of her as in a drinking contest with God knows what's across the bar from her.
A lot of people say, what's that? It's Pat.
The drinking contest goes awry. She wins. I don't know what they were pounding.
The pounding Vaj.
But good Lord, it was pretty rough. You see all the empty shot glasses? Like
Yes,
that's,
dude.
Those are just decorative.
That's a drinking game called murder.
What the hell else are you gonna do in Nepal?
No, that's true. And too, she's flushed with all these damn Nepalese coins. She doesn't have anything to do with them. She's closing up shop. You see the silhouette of Indiana Jones, like with
He
the hat
just
and everything behind her on the wall. I thought that's
always
so
makes
cool.
such a cool entrance, man. And I know Shabbat's going to probably mention the lighting effects and the shadows. This whole like bar scene that we're about to encounter, and it goes on a little while, is just it's super like lit very interestingly and cool with the shadows. And like Chris says, Indiana Jones enters the bar and you just see a shadow like bigger than life come on the wall, and she recognizes him simply because
Marion's like, smells like sex in here all of a sudden.
And they
think about me whenever I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and
squash it. She's mad at him. She says, basically, you took advantage of me, and
I was a
he's
girl.
Like, she's like, I was a child. He's like,
you knew what you were doing.
You knew what you were doing.
You knew what this was.
Yeah. Cue the Family Guy clip.
Yeah.
You knew what this was.
But, I guess in the original script, it basically says that he was 27 and she was 15.
Yeah. In the novelization too, I read the novelization, and it was a little bit more explicit. She doesn't open up her chasm and fucking whatever, but they get a little bit more into the weeds as to like the age differences and all
not
that
to
shit.
mention he's working with her dad, who's his mentor.
Yeah, so he's learning archaeology and from her dad, and he's just banging his daughter, like his underage daughter.
Yeah. He's like, "What are you guys doing in there?" He's like, "I'm looking for treasure.
I'm exploring this cave. Leave me alone."
You know what? Her vagina belongs in the museum.
I heard you got some good wool for me.
Your daughter's some good-looking wool, sir.
I'm looking for treasure and butthole pleasures.
Need that on a shirt, Shadow. Get on the design.
Damn it. And so let's just move forward, please. Despite her anger towards him, Marion agrees to help him find the medallion for $5,000, but she's presumably drunk and angry at him. So she tells him to come back tomorrow. And so he reluctantly agrees to her price and decides to leave. He does pay her, I think, $2,000. She stuffs it in the box, but she wants more money, so he owes her like
he
$3
pays
more.
her. She's tired of those damn Nepalese coins.
Yeah,
she wants real
he
currency.
doesn't pay her in Nepalese coins. but
I don't even know why I bought the place.
Twice last year.
God, we quote this 4-year-old version so much.
No,
dude.
that's something about Mary, but yes.
Excuse me. Man, whatever, dude. We quote 4-year-old version too, dude.
It's
Man,
too
what's
late.
motto,
I
you
said what I
stupid
said.
bitches.
Fuck y'all.
Both y'all want to get clapped up, man.
Indy leaves.
What I do?
No sooner is Indy is gone, basically out the door, than the mysterious German man, who we instantly discover is a German agent, Major Tolt, played by Ronald Lacey, who evidently had given up acting to this point in time.
Yeah, he actually was runner-up for ugliest man in Hollywood to Ron Howard's brother.
He lost to Ron Howard's brother.
Clint Howard.
Clint Howard?
No, we're just gonna call him Ron Howard's brother.
Yeah,
that's all he
Oh,
gets.
come on. He's the ice cream man. Give him some respect.
Yes, dude.
This dude does a great job throughout the movie.
Creepy as fuck.
But he
He's
is
so-
circus ugly in this movie. And I know that they made him that way a lot with some
Yes.
makeup and things, but
Growing up, whenever I first saw this, I guess I was 8-ish whenever I first saw it, I thought, like, in my mind, I thought he was the bad guy, like the main bad guy.
Yeah.
And like every time I think about this, I think of him as the bad guy in this
Dude,
because
he stands out.
terrifying.
I always thought of him as like Cobra Commander for some reason.
And I don't know if it's
why.
like it's just face. I think like in this scene specifically, like he wants the medallion too, and so she says it's not there or whatever, and so he's gonna torture her because you find out she was wearing it. She had it on her person the entire time. She's
Right.
talking to Indy, but like he goes over to the fire, says like her fire's going out, and he's got this like that pick or whatever that's just like red hot, and when he's sweating. That shot when he comes in and he's sweating and it, maybe some foreshadowing for later on. I don't know. But, like, that scene right there makes him just look evil as fuck. Like, that terrifies me. That's, like, seared into my, like, brain, too.
Yeah, that guy that played him, Ronald Lacey, would later go on in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He played Heinrich Himmler.
Did he?
Yeah, standing next to
Hitler.
Oh, nice. I did
Are
not
am
know
I
that.
allowed to say
Hitler.
No.
No. No. It's so fucking stupid because, legitimately,
wait, we really can't say that name?
Yeah, you really.
I
no, you can't. I'm telling you right now.
the Fuhrer.
The Third Reich.
Fuck it, I'm not following these rules anymore.
I mean, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Just keep Nazis off this episode, and we'll work around.
Yeah,
it.
we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Okay. I told you. Terrible.
So
moving on.
Yeah. So anyway, that creepy scene where he's about to just burn her.
Wait. I'll tell you everything.
Yes. I know you will.
Yes.
And
I know
he's
you
sweating. Yeah, he's sweating because he's been in front of this fire. It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
And then, who comes to the rescue, Leaf?
Dude, Indiana Jones bursts back onto the scene, dude, and starts whooping ass, completely. And so, along with Major Toad, he's got a bunch of Nepalese thugs with him.
In tow.
And a gun battle ensues.
I hope his pants get caught and a bloodbath ensues.
And this makes me laugh because in future, it's up until right now, it's a very serious film. We've seen a dude impaled in a Peruvian jungle, killed by poison arrows. So they get in a gun battle and people are getting shot in the head.
Yeah, there's not a lot of comic relief yet.
There's not a lot. Yeah, later on in the battles though, especially the ones with Marion, it turns almost cartoonish.
Yeah. I think it's needed.
I was just going to say, you're saying all these terrible things, and you forgot to leave off the statutory.
Allegedly, he hasn't been convicted in a court of law, so we don't know. But the point is there's a lot of I feel like there's a difference in the film tone later on from this scene because this scene is brutal, man. People are getting their heads blown off.
I think that they were trying to keep it light. That's kind of how the old serials were, and also if it got too dark tonally, it probably wouldn't have been PG.
Yeah,
because
they were still a lot more lenient.
Was this PG or PG-13?
PG-13 didn't come until after Temple of Doom.
So there's one scene at the end that they had to filter to keep it from going R.
So
we'll get to
in the scene though.
God willing, that's about to turn into a two-parter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just shut up.
I'm sorry.
Actually, I was just thinking back at the first of the movie. If you don't mind, if we go back. No, I'm just kidding.
Go right ahead, dude. Let's start over. In fact,
Leaf is the one that's supposed to be driving the narrative here, and he just keeps on fucking getting sidetracked.
So in this bar fight, when this breaks out, you see. I like that the curtain catches on fire immediately. Yeah. It's one of the first shots as there's tussling, and you immediately know oh, dude. Hollywood's about to bust out that fire gel, and we're about to set some motherfuckers on fire because it's the 80s.
Dude.
And here we go. And
yeah,
they sure as shit did.
People are getting shot. They're getting set on fire. But in one scene, I got the booze watch, gentlemen. I found it, right?
I saw it too.
You saw it too? So India's slammed. He's wrestling with a guy, and Indiana Jones looks up at Marion, who's hiding behind the bar at one point, and he's like, whiskey. I need whiskey.
Yeah.
And so she reaches over and hands him a bottle. I'm not sure if that's Johnny Walker.
It's Black Label Johnny Walker.
Black Label Johnny Walker. But right next to that, again, shout out is Jack Daniels.
There you go.
So
from
you
old
get
Tennessee,
old 7. Tennessee, man, and with all next to all this damn Nepalese coins.
I do like that when the Major Talk grabs the medallion, and there's a hesitation for you as the viewer, especially for people people, where they'd be like, that thing would be so hot, and then you just hear. It's there's a little bit of a delay for your brain to go there, and he just burns the shit out of his hand.
Yes, because the medallion is too near the fire, and so he jumps out the window in agony and pain.
Sticks his hand in the snow.
It's like Joe Pesci. getting his
He was, dude.
his head caught on fire.
All that scene lacks is the sound effect with steam coming off the snow. Just throw that in there, man. But.
And the dude from Sea of Slickers screaming.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. And so the Germans and the Nepalese thugs are defeated. Unfortunately, the bar burns to the ground, and demanding payment for the use of the medallion, Marion declares that her and Indy are now partners, and she's coming with him.
Yeah,
on the next leg
again,
of the journey.
just to hit home, she may have a problem when somebody shoots up one of the bottles or the barrels in the bar and it's like pouring down in the middle of this tussle. She stops to get a little nip, like it just keeps going.
Yeah, and let's not forget, she just played a drinking game, dude. She is. I'm sorry.
I mean, what are you gonna do? The dog had some gin.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It makes her hotter. Yeah, it makes her hotter, man.
I thought Marion was really hot, dude. I was like, dude, she's
just burning that gag reflex right out.
Not for us, I'll tell you that much.
No burning out needed.
Yeah, no gags needed. Weird, wild stuff.
So together they fly to they hop a plane to Cairo, in Egypt, where Indy and Marion reunite with one of Gibbs's favorite characters, Indy's friend Sallah, played by John Rhys Davies, aka who is it, Gibbs?
For all you dorks out there, it's Gimli.
He's a lot taller than I remembered.
Yeah.
I
love this dude, man.
I do
in this movie.
He does such a great job.
He's so good.
Yeah. That's all I had to say.
That's all we got. Yeah.
So Law tells Indy that the Germans, led by Indy's old friend Belloc, are close to discovering the well of souls.
The locals call him Baloche.
He's like, yeah, and Indy like picks up on it. It's like, wait, is he a French guy? He's like, yeah. It's like,
Belloc.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, man. He kept saying, what happened to the jazz music? Through the entire time. That's all he says.
I can't understand a word you said the whole time.
Did you eat some peanut butter or something?
Yeah, you sound like a dog with peanut butter on the roof of your mouth.
Can't get him to stop saying it. So the only French guy I know is Sacha Baron Cohen from Talladega Nights.
Is he Menage a trois?
Those last two things are pretty cool. But anyway,
the Germans still need the medallion, which they don't have right now, right, as far as we can understand. But during their conversation, this weird ass monkey sort of attaches itself to Marion. I don't know if this is like, I don't know, kind of like Aladdin-esque little monkey we got going on here, but you can't trust them. They steal and they're evil.
And they stink.
And I mean, you see that she has a handler, very shortly. But that I did. I mean, good for what's her name, Marion in this, Karen Allen. When that monkey is on and pulling on her like mouth and shit, like you can see on her face, she's like, "God damn it!" Like, do we have the take? Like,
yeah. And those monkeys will fucking rip your fucking scalp off.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Yeah, they're much stronger than they look.
No offense to your people, Leaf.
Thanks. That's the most racist thing you've said in this podcast yet.
Somehow.
Somehow.
He had to work for that one.
Wait, that was racist?
Buckle up.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to talk more about this.
Since when did a historical fact become racist?
Do you not know what the news is, Gibbs?
No.
Nobody does anymore.
I don't watch that shit. I like to watch reality a little bit more.
I don't even trust goddamn weather anymore.
I never trust them. But anyway, Leaf. So back at this, the monkey in tow. It's basically, they do have little jokes back and forth.
Marion and Indy just start to explore the city of Cairo. They're like kind of wandering around, and they got the monkey and they're talking. They're sort of reconnecting. They haven't seen each other in many years, obviously, and so the monkey eventually flees and it returns back to a eye patch Egyptian agent
That's how you know you can't trust him.
Yeah, who immediately gives an Elon Musk style Zig Heil to his fellow bad guys, and I cried laughing. I was like, "Why are you doing that in the streets or like in the back alleys?" It was so funny, but just to let you know,
no background story needed. Hand gesture, bad guy.
It's their special handshake.
Yeah, exactly. So Indian and Marion are summarily ambushed by the Germans and the Egyptian thugs who try to murder them, and an action sequence ensues.
And this is when we get more cartoony. Like this is the way more cartoony.
This is what I was mentioning, that like it was such a shock to see all of those other scenes and then get to this one with Marion where it's like there's almost like cartoon sound effects. She's like hitting bad guys with frying pans. It's like clang.
I feel like this was like George Lucas's compromise with Steven Spielberg, because Lucas had to try to like reel in Spielberg's goofy side. He had to put the NATO on a whole lot of stuff, and I think he was finally like, "Hey, just do the basket fucking thing, and then we'll
let's do the basket.
thing. Do the basket thing, and then the rest of the movie, can we please stop that bullshit?"
Yeah, dude, and I felt that like this scene watching it through. I was like, this really changes the tone of the movie, like for me, like quite a bit. I was just like.
We'll kind of breeze through this and get to the main 2 points of this. Is one of the iconic scenes here. I think that we can tell the backstory on it, but the guy with the big sword, he's facing off against Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones just shoots him. And the backstory on that was, I guess Harrison Ford had food poisoning. They couldn't get the choreography right, and he pitched, "What if I just shoot him?" And dude, it's one of the most iconic scenes in the franchise. It's so funny and so indie. Like why? Like he's just annoyed that this guy's and he's trying to go find like.
And George Lucas saw this and was like, "No," and so he did a screening with him actually doing the fight. And,
really?
And then one with him just shooting him, and he could not believe that the people enjoyed this version and not the
laughs
fight.
And everything. Yeah, because it's laughs.
It's so funny.
And I have to believe that Batman '89 ripped this off, because the part where Batman has his first run in with the Joker thugs in the alley, and the guy has the 2 swords and he's doing all the crazy shit, and then Batman just like kicks him in the face.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, it's a comedic beat in an action sequence, and so Marion gets abducted into a basket, and this is where Indy's trying to find. Of course, it's the I say it every episode we have. This is the derp moment where he goes around the corner and everyone has a basket.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find out which one she's in.
It's laundry day.
It is, obviously. And they're mad because he's pulling all their spilling their clothes and shit everywhere. But she gets thrown in the back, or so we think, the back of a truck, drives off in one of the more non-impressive truck stunts I've ever seen in a movie. Like it just kind of topples over and then explodes.
Falls over and explodes.
And then
that's probably the most realistic.
It is. Yeah. It is 100%. But we're so conditioned to flips and flops and flies now that this was when I'm watching it again, I'm like, that's real. That's really what would happen.
If they made this movie now, it would just zoom out to the Earth and you'd see like a nuclear explosion.
And Michael Bay's like, yeah.
And with like a Monster Energy drink emblem at the bottom. But like so Indy, as we use this often on the podcast, he is now crestfallen. Because... He is,
dude. His girl is dead, dude. She blew up in a truck accident. He doesn't even bother like recovering her charred body. Like he just
stares.
He's like, man, I was really hoping to hit that after she turned legal age.
Yeah, whatever. He was probably like, oh, shit, thank God she can't tell anybody about what we did.
The evidence is destroyed.
He's like, it was in international waters. It doesn't count.
And he's like, man,
yeah.
Wash my hands of that.
Loose ends tied up for Indy. But, man, he's drunk.
Dude,
in a bar, like he's just going through. Dude, he's got what, like a fourth of a bottle left of whiskey. Like,
dude, yeah,
I'm just telling you, if any of us drink half a bottle or 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey right now, we're dead for 4 days.
Ooh. Yeah, at our age, that is a long recovery, Tom. And so he's grieving, obviously, Marion being killed in this action sequence, and there's a brief confrontation with Bella. And this is sort of, I think, this scene, and Gibbs can correct me if I'm wrong, it's sort of like to sort of establish like Indy's like darker side, because Belloc tells him he has some thugs bring Indy to him in a bar.
I was drunk in a bar.
And he basically tells him, look, we're basically the same person, guy. Come on here. Like, we're obsessed with archaeology. It's this our religion. And, like, now we have a chance to find, like, the Ark of the Covenant. And, like, this is, like, the biggest, greatest thing that anyone could ever find. Like, this is the top. Like, this anyone in our position would kill and to find this artifact. And, you know, he tries to establish some common ground. Obviously, Belloc is responsible, I think, indirectly for Marion's death, or that's what Indy thinks. And he immediately like pulls a gun on him and like was going to kill him.
And you also get a little small comedic beat here of you pull the one gun and then 400 guns are pointed back at you. Like,
yeah,
like,
dude.
oh.
Yeah, in the bar, everyone is armed. What is
Yeah.
this, like South Texas?
I've got nothing better to do.
Uncle Indy, come back home now! Uncle Indy, get back home!
Like, everyone is armed in the bar, and
buy some whiskey, get a gun.
But Salah's children actually come in and surround Indy, and obviously no one wants to kill, like, innocent kids, so, like, Sallah... they help Indy escape. They drag him out, and Belloc threatens him. He's like, "Dude, you know you're."
Too bad me and Gibbs weren't there.
Yeah.
It would have been a shootout for real.
Or Angela Lansbury.
I'm not ashamed. Abortion.
Aha! So she's the murderer.
So Indy narrowly escapes, and even Belloc warns him. He's like, "There's not going to be children to like help you escape next time, Indy."
Yeah.
And so, yeah, back they take him. They go back to Salah's home, and where an old scholar is analyzing the medallion because Indy had gotten it from Marion before her
tragic passing.
Her tragic passing. And so there's an Egyptian scholar sort of poring over the medallion, trying to figure out and translate the markings.
He looks very Egyptian scholar-like.
Yeah, yes.
If you told me Egyptian scholar, this is the guy that I look up in the dictionary.
Fairly
and
sure.
Pictures right next to it.
Fairly sure he's got a turban on. He's a long beard.
Beard, yeah.
Dude, this guy knows
the long
everything.
beard.
You
You're
see a
wise.
fucking turban.
Yeah, turban.
But you see the monkey's owner, the eye patch assassin guy, like come in and just poison the dates, man. He pours
why I
some
don't eat
solution. Yeah, me too, man. And you see him run out the back door, and Indy grabs one of the dates when it's brought to him, and he's got it in his hand. So there's a whole scene.
Dude,
Such a good scene, man.
There's so many like,
yeah, like the good fake outs, and you're just like, no.
Yeah, he almost eats it multiple times, and
Yeah.
he's stopped in the conversation because he's talking. And during the conversation, like he has the date in his hand, the poison date in his hand, and you know it's game over if he eats it. And it's just like Gibbs said, there's so many fake outs. But we find out that the Germans actually have a copy of the medallion. Don't know how or why they got it, right?
So I knew, like, as soon as he burned his hand, I knew how they got that.
Listen,
oh yeah. Well, you.
This is the 80s.
Yeah, you're
People were
smart.
Yeah, right? Like
You're
you're
not-
looking with your
I'm
2000s. You're looking with your 2026 brain, dude. Like right now it's like it's not revealed necessarily. Some people might have inferred, but they have a copy of the medallion, but only on one side, which means and the medallion tells you how long to make the staff of raw so that you can discover the location of the Well of Souls. Their staff is too long though. The German staff.
Another problem none of us have ever had.
Yeah, not us.
Couldn't be me. And so Indy is like, well, there's still time. Like we still can find it before the Germans find it, Belloc and the Germans. And he tosses the data in the air as celebration to catch it in his mouth. And
Bad dates.
Poor fucking monkey. He was
Bad
just doing what his owner
dates.
told him. He was a bad monkey because he had a bad owner. If I'd had that monkey, he would have been throwing poo at people at command.
He was
Just
a
saying.
bitch. He betrayed Marion to her death, and good riddance to that monster monkey. He's dead. But Indy is saved.
I forgive him.
Same. I believe him, yo.
forgive him.
I don't know why, but I
don't
do.
know why, but I do.
So disguised as workers, Indy and Sallah infiltrate the Germans' excavation site in Tanis, and using the correct size staff, they fix. Indy goes in, and this is my favorite scene, like in the film. He fixes.
The staff was just smaller, more maneuverable.
It had more get up and go. You know what I mean? So he fixes the medallion to the head of the staff, and he places it like in the spot in what they consider the map room. They sneak into this area, and it's like a model, but I assume it's made out of stone of like the area of Egypt and Cairo, this area, and the sun hits it.
Actually, I like the setup to that though. When like Andy is down and he's like brushing the dust away, and like he's like trying to find the correct spot to put the staff.
Right.
I thought that was cool too.
This whole scene's freaking awesome.
The sequence is insane, dude. And when I was a kid, this is one of the ones that like stood out to me. I was like, man, I want to be like an archaeologist. I didn't realize it was just a bunch of boring ass book reading and then just like dusting off dinosaur bones.
Yeah,
and
running back and forth on your clothesline and
in
dig.
the dirt. That's what I was doing when I was younger. Yeah.
Man,
So
he's really grown.
yeah. Instead, I grew up to be a fat, bald podcaster reminiscing about better days. Like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah. One day you're gonna be a big sports star. So, you do find out too, like after this. So now they know where this is. They know where the Ark is, and when they go back in, I do like that Indy keeps half-assed covering his face, like when he's walking by all the Germans and stuff. It's because he's obviously not native, and they would know. But he stumbles upon, guess what? Marion's still alive.
Marion, dude, he can't believe it. And of course,
And that's when I turned the movie off. I was like, fuck this.
I watched her die in that basket.
Killed a
damn
monkey
it.
and she's alive? I'm out.
like the dude in Princess Bride, like, she didn't die.
Yeah. That's what it was. But so this is a great scene too, because he sees her. You can see like he does a good job of showing like how relieved he is she's alive, how happy he is.
Yeah.
And then right before he cuts her loose, he starts thinking, and he's like, well, if you're free, then they're going to be looking for you and me. So we're going to have to leave you get like tied up. And she's like, God damn it, Indy.
Trying to look at my panties. God damn it.
She's fucking mad. And as
Dude,
she should be.
she won't stop screeching. She immediately starts yelling, basically, the second he takes her mouth gag off. And I'm like, shut up,
Fucking
dude.
bitches, man. I swear to shit. You like hide in the closet from the killer, and you're like, just be quiet. And she's like, you don't tell me what to do.
100%.
Let that be a lesson. Never remove a woman's gag.
Yeah, Indy calculates the location of the Well of Souls after he's discovered the staff and the final resting place of the Ark, and with the help of his slaves, I mean the Egyptian workers, they start to dig and around, and the whole time. The whole time the Germans are around, like they're covertly digging.
They're digging elsewhere because they have a different location.
Yes.
And so they have this massive site of where they're digging.
closed on somewhere else.
Right.
Yes, exactly, because they're digging in the wrong spot. And so they find the entrance to the tomb. And, dude, the whole time they're digging and they're getting closer, like, there's clouds and thunder. So, like, there's this, like, supernatural, like, aura starting to surround the Ark of the Covenant, because as they get closer, they open the tomb, and it's just filled with snakes.
Dude, I forgot how many thousands they said they had on set.
They had originally, I think they had 2,000, and they're like, that's not near enough. So they ended up with a total of like 7,000 snakes.
That's fucking insane. And I think one person did get bit by like a python or something. I read no Cobra death, no Macho Man or Jake the Snake Cobra on Macho Man's arm when he's pinned in the ropes.
No, a lot of
talk about seared in your memory as a child. Jesus, WWF.
No snake bites, but a lot of dysentery.
Yeah, I bet that smelled awful. Anyway, so
the dude that played Sallah shit his pants in one of these scenes.
Did he?
I think it was a deleted scene. Yeah, but
because of dysentery.
Yeah,
Because I think like Spielberg was the only one that didn't get it right because he brought like canned food from home or something.
Yeah, they said. I think they said that they were shipping in like 5,000 gallons of water a day or something for the crew.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they shipped it in from Mexico. Those stupid fucks.
Hey man, have some Montezuma's Revenge. So terrible.
Like dirty water from Mexico.
Yep, there he is, man.
So they find the tomb. It's filled with snakes, and so Indy descends by himself and uses gasoline to burn the snakes out on his way to try to, as they begin to explore the Well of Souls. Meanwhile, Bellic turns up the Pepe Le Pew charm and starts to mac on Marion, dude. He's taking an interest in her.
He just basically busts out a dress and is like, hey.
I was going to say, why do all these people have dresses? Like, are they just
you don't want to dig? You don't want to dig too deep into that, Chadwick.
It was different time, different place, buddy.
Yeah,
and he's fucking French.
Yeah, he's French.
He is.
There's
French,
a reason Pepe Le Pew.
We had
exists.
this like the stereope of French people back then. They all had dresses.
All thanks to Looney Tunes.
All had
Pepe
dresses
Le Pew.
and Jerry Lewis.
And
yeah, so Belloc, the actor that did Belloc, and then what's her name?
Yeah,
Karen
Karen
Allen.
Karen Allen.
Yeah, they wanted to know like why does she end up in a dress?
Yeah, like
because the script just called for it.
It did.
Right?
Yeah, they had a rough outline of the script, and so they wanted she was supposed to end up in the dress, and Steven Spielberg was like, "You guys figure out how she ends up in the dress and what happens during the majority of the scene." And so Belloc turns up the Pepe Le Pew charm, and he's taking an interest in her sexually, and he offers the dress, and she only accepts because she sees a knife there, and so she's like, I'm gonna schmooze him, and he brings out the booze, and she really realizes then, I'm gonna drink this guy under the table.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I have a superpower.
and it's knowing what you just said. That's so smart. They were able to think of this to get the dress on to build this scene that way and to make it work.
If I wrote this scene or tried to improvise this scene, I would have just been like, look, I knitted this for you. I was up all night.
Yeah, I would have done something like the clothes that she was in got wet or dirty or whatever.
I would have just came in the dress and be like, does this make me look fat?
I would have made it.
I would have been like, would you fuck me?
Come in naked with it, holding the dress, and be like, "I'll put some clothes on if you take yours off."
Yeah, exactly. That's probably what.
If I made it, it would just seem to cut, and Marion would be holding a teacup, and she would say, "My, what a lovely tea party."
And that's how it should be, man. So
anyway,
I don't mind it.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a nice little fucking drinky poo, and so she finally gets to the point. Like I said, this is just high proof alcohol they're drinking. You can even see when Bellic first takes a sip, he's like,
he says
damn.
In the film, he says it's he owns the liquor, wherever it was produced, it's back from France, and his family owns it. It's been in his.
It's clear distilled liquor, so I mean, it's high proof shit. So anyway, she's gonna get the knife, and she's gonna kill him. They both start laughing because they're drunk, because he has an alcohol tolerance, apparently. And then...
We meet again, Fräulein.
I know, he keeps calling her Fräulein, which makes me think of Beer Fest when Fräulein's go wild. Come on, kiss each other.
Now, this was a really good misdirection.
Yes, I love this, too.
He takes his coat off, and then he pulls out this, contraption. He hands his coat to one of his minions or whatever, and then he pulls out what everybody thinks is
another
torture.
It looks like a mini
Yeah.
3-sectional staff or something.
Right.
No, he just makes a hanger for his coat.
And it's such a throwaway too.
So
like
cool.
there's no other attentions given to this. It's one of those that like when you watch it the 400th time, it makes me giggle every time when that happens.
Because their
Like,
reaction,
yeah,
they're like both of them are cowering. Even
cowering,
Belloc is like,
oh,
no. Wait, we cut back to the tomb where Indy
has success.
Yes, Indy and Sallah are now down in, and you see them lifting the Ark of the Covenant and out of its sarcophagus where it's located, and they start to lift it out. And by now, this has been all night, so the sun is starting to come up. And you see Belloc. He's outside, basically, talking to Major Todt and the Germans. And he's basically making excuses. He's like, "Look, I've done my best. Don't hurt Marion because he does like her, and they're threatening to torture her for more information because they cannot find the location of the Ark." But then Belloc on the hill sees an unauthorized excavation and realizes that is indeed Dr. Jones.
That's Dr. Jones to you, doll.
Him.
I'm not in a shrunk.
Him and his minions arrive just in time to steal the Ark, to capture.
I know. This has to just be the biggest goddamn it moment for Indy. Like, from the first of the movie, he steals, like, you're like, finally, I got this motherfucker one-upped. And you get to the top, and he's sitting there humming show tunes. He's like, show me that smile. Show me that smile.
And he looks, and Belloc looks.
You think all the Germans were doing the background?
Yeah, dude.
Show me that smile.
Like springtime for in the producers.
Yeah. That's what it was, dude.
Dude, and so
they're all like,
you're right, Chris, because Belloc looks down, and dude, this scene pissed me off more than I remember. He's like, "Well, once again, Dr. Jones, what is yours is now mine," and I'm like, "No, dude, I was so mad, bro."
Son of a bitch. I'm afraid we must be going now, Dr. Jones. Our prize is awaited in Berlin.
And not only that, like, you're probably going to die.
Yeah,
too.
he's going to kill
so,
you too. So there's that.
We could kill you and make sure that you're dead, or we could just seal you off and assume that everything will go in plan. What? What's
it
wrong
is
with
the same
that?
price.
Stop it!
Now Marion gets thrown down in there. They're sealed in, and Indy has got to find a way out because their torches are burning out. The snakes and asps are closing in, and
he sees the snakes coming through the wall. He's like,
right.
"Oh, that's a way out." So he starts
climbing up this giant statue
or
whatever.
That's right.
And then he pushes it over. It collapses the wall. They see light. Hey, we can get the fuck out. So
yeah, they run through the tunnel or the catacombs, I believe they're called. And there's just like a really annoying scene with Marion shrieking, and they're like mummies are hissing. I don't know what the hell. Like they're
Indy!
And so she's screeching, it's yelling. I don't even know what the point of this scene is. Like, she's freaking out. They just want to get her yelling, yet again. But Indy grabs her, rescues her, pulls her sort of out of the mummy, out of the catacombs and out of the tunnel. And the tunnel leads to a desert airfield where Indy attempts to stop the Germans from loading the Ark on a plane and flying it out of Egypt. And you have this flying wing, which by my research, I've discovered, I'm pretty sure it's like it was an abandoned American design.
Yeah, but it was never actually real.
Right.
Yeah, but they just painted a big on it, but I don't think it was. Yeah, you're right. It was never a real aircraft.
I think Lex Luthor had one in World's Finest.
So, but yeah,
it looks badass.
This is where you get like some action scenes where Marion gets she goes into the cockpit, giggity. She's using the gun too in the plane because everybody sees like what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
but you have this battle between Indy. He disposes of one German, and then there's this giant bald guy, and he looks over and he's like, "Shit." And if you didn't think I was going to bring professional wrestling into this episode, you're out of your goddamn mind, because that is former British pro wrestler Pat Roach.
Oh, my God,
and
bro.
Other than Harrison Ford, is the only one that appeared in all 3 of the important Indiana Jones movies.
Really?
Yes.
So
he appeared in
this
all.
one, Crusade and Crystal the Skull.
Yeah, I hate you, but yes. But yeah, man, Pat Roach, think former heavyweight champion, British pro wrestler, man. So there you go. Told you it was going to happen.
He plays a German mechanic who, this scene is so funny because he takes off, like you see him come out of the tent and he takes off his jacket.
30
and
style boxing, man.
Dude, instead of shooting him, this guy wants to fight. Like, he wants to fist fight. He's excited about it. And so
Indy's guy, I got fucking no dukes over here.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, Indy has already, like Chris said, dispatched a German soldier, and he's climbing up the plane, and that guy's like, he shouts out to him, he's like, hey, Indy turns around, and he's just like, throws up his dukes, and like Shavik said, Indy's like, I got fucking no dukes, and Indy's face is just so disheveled, he's like, all right, hold on, we'll have a fist fight.
I know. And the dude,
So,
dude lands one jab and knocks Indy on his ass, and you see his face. He's like, God damn it.
I gotta say, Guy Ritchie does this a lot better in Sherlock Holmes.
Break cracked ribs. Traumatized solar plexus. Dislocate jaw entirely.
But it's funny as shit, man. They're going back and forth. Like, you find out, like, she's locked in the cockpit. Like, so you're going back and forth trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
And she can't control the gun. Like,
right.
she's like shot some of the Germans, but then she shoots a fuel truck or something.
Yeah, dude, it blows up, and so or they clip the fuel truck when it was plane spinning, so fuel is spilling out, and then fires are starting to reach the fuel, so you're kind of like on a ticking time bomb here, and then you get one of the greatest scenes in this, a la Freddy Got Fingered, as the propeller spins around, poor Pat Roach just gets roasted in that propeller.
Come on, come on.
He was not okay. So, Indy shoots Marion. Indy shoots Marion out of there, but he has to shoot her out of the cockpit now. So he rescues Marion right before the whole thing blows all to hell, children. And the explosion notifies everybody else kind of what the fuck is going on over at the other part of the base, where they're like, wait, what was that? And so you find out now that, like, the whole thing, the Ark of the Covenant, is on a truck en route.
This might be one of the best scenes. Like,
oh yeah,
the chase.
Yeah, well, all the stunts on the truck. Like, you've got
that whole stunt where he's on the front of the truck and he slides underneath it, hooks his whip, and is drugged behind. To cap it all off, he starts off on horseback. You know, like it's to everybody cheering him while he's going away.
Well, that was like the whole premise of where the origins of the idea of Indiana Jones came from. Was George Lucas saw a movie poster. I don't know if it was just in his head or he saw it, but he saw a guy jumping from a horse onto a truck. That was the whole. That was the whole idea behind it.
That's crazy, man. Somebody just these creative types, man.
And I hate to sound like that fucking old man yells at cloud kind of guy, but I like how these action scenes are shot. Everything is clear. You know exactly what's going on. It's back far enough. These days, it'd be so close up, you'd never know what's going on. You wouldn't really feel this real sense of danger and stuff. I just feel like it's a lost art.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it is a lost art, and I mean, it's all. We've gotten more dangerous stunts and stuff nowadays, but to your point, this is easy to understand. It's easy to follow. It's just shot really well.
I'll agree with you on that point, but the rest of the fight scenes is very old school. Like one person attacking at a time.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and
very choreographed.
But again, like I still kind of appreciate that just from a theatrical standpoint. You actually see what's happening. You see who's throwing the punches. You see how the blows are happening.
Yeah.
Whereas in modern filmmaking, while it stimulates your brain so much better, you got these quick cuts, and it's so freaking close, and then the camera's shaking the entire time that you really cannot get a clear picture of everything that's happening in the
I hate that.
Was it
Born Identity?
I was going to say, was it the Born Identity that introduced that?
Yes.
Which I fucking love that movie.
Which I do too, and I did like that style. At first, I was like, "Holy crap!" because it does like makes you feel claustrophobic and in that fight. But over time, they've made it so that you just don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, it became. It's almost like it became lazy. And I could tell you, one of the first movies that I remember, I felt like the first time I felt old was in Transformers. When the action was like so zoomed in and everything was shaking, the original Transformers. Yeah, like everything was like when they were fighting and rolling around. I remember I may have had a cocktail, what of it? But I was like, dude, it looks. I can't tell what's happening.
I think they just went too far. Like, I think that they started zooming in more, and then they were like, we'll zoom in more, we'll zoom in more. I don't think it's lazy.
But also, like, I feel like it's
evolution to a point where you.
Well, they're getting they're getting directors that don't have vision or an artistic vision or any sort of creativity. They're just point, shoot, and this is what I've seen before, and there just doesn't seem to be that. I do agree that some of the choreography is dated, but at least we don't have a ninja sneaking up on a guy and him going whap, give him one of those. For sure. But I do enjoy. I do like watching some of these older ones. If you go back too far, it looks much sillier, but at this time I can still appreciate it for what it is. And again, you can see what's going on, exactly what's happening in the scene, and
so the end result of this chase scene is Indy now has the Ark. Good old Sallah has hooked him up with a way to get the Ark back on a cargo ship, and everything should be good. What was the cargo ship's name?
Bantu Wind.
Okay, so he's he gives I like this scene, which again, I love the character Sallah in this. Like, they say their goodbyes. Marion gives him a kiss, for his kids, for his family, and for him
on the lips.
And then he just starts like singing immediately after that, just a jolly tune. I fucking love that dude. I love that dude. He just
the actor, the character. He's so awesome, man.
A British tar is a soaring soul, as free as a mountain bud.
So now we go on the ship here, where you think like, oh cool, they're gonna set sail and everything's gonna be fine, of course, and you look and you're like, no, we got 20 minutes left in this movie, so something's gonna happen.
Something is gonna happen. And this is where Indy reconnects with his old flame, his younger
flame,
now of age flame.
And for once they're in international waters. What a backwards fucking movie.
And Indy has been he's been really injured by this last scene, right?
Got his ass whipped by Pat Roach.
He's been shot while he was on the truck as well. Like, he got shot at one point in time. Like, he's worked over. And so this is when you get one of my favorite lines in the film. He's like taking off his shirt, and she's like helping him because he's all messed up. She's kind of patching him up or whatever, and she's just like, "Wow, you're not the man I knew 10 years ago." And Indy turns and looks at her. He says,
"It's not the years; it's the mileage."
God bless. That
means a lot
so
more
hard.
now. Yeah.
And you know what, guys? We wouldn't have had that if Tom Selleck was in this movie, because that is a Harrison Ford addition.
Was that an ad lib by him or a suggestion?
Yeah, he was the one that came up with the line.
Nice, man. So because she finally gets on top of him, they play this little kissing game where doesn't it hurt, and so they start making out.
Like, God damn it, where doesn't it hurt?
Yeah, I know. and she starts to make out with him, and it's been a while since Harrison Ford has felt the love of a woman, so he goes off real quick in his pants and then just falls asleep, and the movie doesn't address it.
Starts sucking his thumb.
He rolls over, pulls out a small bag of sour cream and onion chips, and eats them and passes out.
He's like, do they not have Matlock playing somewhere around here?
Who can blame him? He's used to going home and fucking the sleeve of his favorite jacket.
Yeah, that's true. And that jacket's got it's not the years on the jacket, it's the miles. So he falls asleep. She's just like, basically, we never can get the timing right, it seems, or whatever her line is.
Well, you know what though, they got the timing right sometime during the night, because he wakes up and leaves. She wakes up and her dress is like hanging up behind her.
Yeah, lucky Indy. But so, of course, you can't have a clean, happy ending on this. The Germans intercept.
A German U-boat, in fact.
Dude, they intercept, and so Indy's gonna hide because the captain, is one of Sallah's friends, so he's gonna cover for him. He's gonna give him the Ark, and as long as they says he killed Indy, lies to him, so they steal the Ark, and Indy now has to swim across to get on top of the U-boat, and we're having our.
I like Sallah's friend. He's trying to save Marion. Like he's like, I killed Andy. Give me the woman. She'll be worth something where we're going. Basically saying that he could sell her.
Right.
But he's trying to just save her.
He's trying to save her from that.
And how about the damn German guy?
Savage. You are not in the position to ask for anything.
Yeah.
Spielberg was like, lean into the savage word a little more. Like that's what it feels like. And also, it's important to note in this scene, like the Ark, there's a very quick moment where it pans down to the Ark, and you can kind of see it starting to like burn through the wooden box.
Well, there's an emblem on it, and it burns and gets rid of the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it can't have that impure evil.
Right. And so
insignia on it.
Yeah, it gets rid of it. It's a cool little scene. But so let's just fast forward we're back on the island. I love South Park. If you haven't seen it, did an awesome parody of this when Spielberg and all the directors were putting like walkie-talkies instead of guns in E.T. and all that shit. They did an awesome a parody of this where it's, of course, Sean's favorite line, the tweaked out kid. But you have Indy has gotten back on the island. He's got a bazooka, and he's going to try to get Marion and the Ark back, and he can't. He's not going to be able to do what he wants to do because they're like, Belloq's like, fine, shoot the Ark, like destroy history, destroy everything, and he's just like, damn it, it's like this is what you worked for your entire fucking life.
Yeah,
you want to really do that? And he's like, no. And in this scene, there's a fly that flies in Belloq's mouth while he's talking, and he fucking eats it.
You're gonna give mercenaries a bad name.
You're gonna give mercenaries a bad name. You're gonna give mercenaries a bad name.
Dude, you were eating off it.
He swallows it. So Belloq conducts a ritual, a ancient Jewish ritual in the secluded part of the island.
I'm not too comfortable with this Jewish ritual.
and so he's dressed up in the traditional Jewish garb, but he looks fucking retarded. It's so stupid. Like he's wearing I don't even understand. Like maybe that is what they wore, but I don't know. And so once the ceremony is complete, they open the Ark of the Covenant to find that it's only filled with dust. And of course, Major Todt and even Indiana Jones, they all kind of start laughing. It's like, it's sort of a joke. It's like, what did you think was going to happen, right? Like, there's nothing supernatural about this. It's just an ancient artifact, right? But suddenly,
it's a good pause.
I don't know. I thought they still held up as far as I'm concerned. I like them
like,
still.
Where it's like an angel or something, like it's like a woman and it's right in front of your face.
Yes.
And then it turns into like an evil skull and everybody starts screaming.
They filmed a woman underwater and then animated it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. It looked cool as shit. I did have the one that, you have Indy's like telling Marion, hey, don't look, like just close your eyes. And as all of this is happening, the one that got me as a kid, dude, is we talked about earlier. It's when Major Todt's face melts off.
Yeah.
when his face starts melting. And I found on that DVD they had a special effects on how they did that. And so they made some kind of latex that would heat up like at a low heat. They layered it like he put like yarn and shit in there for veins, and then put the skin on top of it with this. Again, it was kind of volatile. They were like, I don't know if it's going to work. But they just filmed that over a certain amount of time, and it melted off. And then I think they had to speed it up at like 1,000 or 2,000 times or something crazy.
They did the plaster cast on all their faces.
Yeah.
To make those, but they had to do it in a screaming face, so they had to like have their mouths open.
I think that they had to. I don't know how they did it with the mouth. I know the eyes were closed, and they just manually opened them, with carving shit out. But dude, seeing how they did that was pretty fucking cool. They melted his face, melts off. They had like a stone skull underneath it, so that wouldn't melt.
And then who is it whose face actually explodes?
That's a Bellic, isn't it?
So that was going to cost them the R rating. That's the reason they had to put the fire in front of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't see it full on. It's kind of hidden by the fire a little bit, but
I mean, I think all of the effects in this hold up tremendously well.
Yeah.
Especially considering like all the cartoons that we now see. But like, I just it's terrifying, man. This was the one scene from whenever I first watched this that stuck out to me.
Same.
Like it stuck with me for a while, and I was like, "Is that going to happen to me, Mom?" And she's like, "Yeah, probably, because you're a big fucking sinner."
You're like, I am a big sinner. So after Indy of course tells her to close her eyes, blah blah blah. So Germans are all blown up and destroyed. Indy and Marion are safe, and this is where you find out this has also been parodied a bazillion times. The Ark is packaged up and will be studied by top men.
Top
men.
Thank you, Eckhart. Like, I really appreciate you for that. But right, they take they have the Ark in their possession, but the United States government agents basically steal it from Indiana Jones because he wants it obviously to go to a museum, as is his.
It belongs in a museum.
Exactly right. Like that's what he always wants. But unfortunately, it is taken by the bureaucrats in the United States government. That's weird. That would never happen in real life.
Not today.
Not today.
Don't worry, Brian. He's being examined by top men.
Who?
Top men.
If you haven't seen it, by the way, it's on Paramount Plus right now. You can go check out all 3 of the indie movies that matter. I refuse to watch the other ones. Actually, I did watch part of Crystal Skull, and then I had to stop.
The Rocky 5?
Yeah, the rest of them are just Rocky 5, man. So,
hey.
Gibbs is like, touch me, I'll sue, man. Guys, let's go around the horn, man. From the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, what is your favorite line? And I'm going to start with the layup.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Gibbs, man, what's your favorite line, Gibbs?
Holy smoke, my friends! I'm so pleased you're not dead!
That's an awesome one, dude. Shadwick, what do you got, brother?
I'm going after that truck. Oh. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
That's a great one. Yeah. Leaf, dude, bring us home. What's your favorite line from Raiders of the Lost Ark?
All right, it's got to. I'm gonna echo what Chris says with the snakes, dude. It's got to be the moment where Sallah looks down in the Well of Souls and says,
"Asps, very dangerous. You go first."
Again, man, awesome movie. Paramount Plus sponsor our podcast. So if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends. And with that, guys, we'll take it over to our Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
And in medical news, a new test can now detect prostate trouble months earlier than any previous test. The only downside, it involves shoving some huge device up your ass.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us for a little bit of bonus content. Got my homeboy Ben Hunt with me. He's the one I mentioned earlier in the episode that actually went to the shooting locations. in Hawaii for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ben, you want to go ahead and plug that video just out of the gate? How can they find this on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yeah, free for all to enjoy, not for profit. So I'm using some clips in there, but my handle is Jumperman06. I got lots of videos on there. That's one of the more recent ones. If you just look up like Raiders of the Lost Ark locations, Kauai, interview, you'll probably find it.
And I'll have the link in our description on top of all of that. But go and follow him for more content. But just out of the gate, this is not the only location, and diehard fans will remember you in our Princess Bride episode where you had our shirt on at some of the shooting locations for Princess Bride. What started you on this location vacation situation, my friend?
Good. There's actually a term for it, and there's a guy who does a much better job than I do called set jetting. That's his term, but it's effectively going to locations where movies were filmed, not like studio sets, right? So longtime fan of movies. I just grew up on them. They've said like movies are the fables of our time. Pretty true. And I've always just been a massive, massive fan. And I was in film school and just, lived in LA for a while. It didn't really click that I was like, wait, I can actually go to some of these locations until like early 2000s or so. I was in the Navy living out in Hawaii and they were filming Lost while I was out there.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, wait, that's also where they filmed Jurassic Park. And I can go there.
Yeah.
And it's like treasure hunting to an extent. Some of the harder locations are the more rewarding because anybody can go to like the Eiffel Tower or Golden Gate Bridge or Statue of Liberty. But when you go to like, that was the bench in Shawshank,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. So I know we've talked off air quite a bit. You're one of my close friends, and we you've shared all these pictures and these videos. You're also a hell of an editor. Like I don't know if you know it yet, but as soon as our budget grows, you'll be our full-time editor. But
I'm hired.
Yeah, you're hired, buddy. You don't have an option to decline that. You got to meet one of the indie stand-ins that's in this video. You got to meet the casting director. Kind of walk me through how you met these guys, and then I got to encourage you guys to go watch this because it's DIY with high production value, and it's just cool that these guys were like, yeah, man, we're accessible. It's nice to meet you. Let's do an interview. Like, it was just badass. So how did you end up meeting, and who started this journey? Because you got a buddy that you do this with, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So it didn't just happen overnight. Like my buddy who's with me, you'll see him in the video, my friend Alex, he lives in the UK. He's British, half English, half Scottish. And we met, just a little backstory here, back in 1999. Little movie called Star Wars Episode 1 was coming out at the Man's Chinese Theater. I was living in LA at the time. He flew in for it. I was like, well, I'm going to go join the guys in line and wait in line. Spent a couple weeks in line. There's another whole story with that. But we met each other and we're like, we just clicked, became friends, stayed in touch all these years, dovetailing interests, reconnected years later. And he's one of the main reasons I got into this hobby in the first place, because he does a lot of this too, but mostly for very niche films, like a short list of films like Star Wars, Princess Bride, the Indiana Jones stuff. Yeah. And which, by the way, jacket, hat, thought I'd wear that today.
Dude, yeah. Do you want to give a little background on that? Where
quick tangent there. This is a Wested leather jacket, same maker that Harrison Ford wore for all the films, and this is a Herbert Johnson hat. I don't know if you can see any of that or not, but that's the actual one, made in London, and custom fit and everything. Not cheap, but top of the line.
Dude, you got it right. You got the whole get up, man.
Yeah, this isn't like the Temu version. This is the real deal.
You didn't go to Spirit Halloween and pick that up, man. So, and you get to wear that like when you went and did this, right? You had that stuff.
Oh
on.
Yeah, we brought the stuff. Yeah, I mean, when you're going to do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so in the video, you're even geared up for the video.
Yeah, if you're going to do it. Actually, I have another one up there. That's the Crusade hat. This is the one I didn't bring because I just got it recently. But anyway, Alex and I just dovetailing interests. He's really big into Indiana Jones stuff. You look up Alex Hogg, Hogg, Indiana Jones blog. He's got like these detailed lists of places he's been and with pictures and GPS locations and everything. You looked at it. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So I jumped into his hobby doing it about halfway through. We did a road trip back in 2016. He put some American stuff in there. We visited together and said, one day we're going to get to Kauai. That's a hard one to get to, right? Because that was the last part of the filming for Raiders was the first part of the movie.
Right.
They did everything in Tunisia first, and then they said, okay, the last 2 weeks or so are going to be out in Kauai for the jungle, you know, quote unquote, in the beginning. But all we knew was like, okay, we have some, because the internet like sucks for research for the most part. Like, it was filmed in Kauai. Yes, but where?
Yeah, it's not a small place.
No, it's a small island, but it's still like, because it's a bit like, they call it ground sleuthing. Like, okay, that mountain looks like from this angle. And anyway, the internet gets you so far. We do enough research with Google Earth and everything, but the opening logo, like the Paramount logo, that's a mountain you can get to pretty easy. You can see it from the road. But there's other locations that were like, well, I don't know how to get to some of these places. There's a making of book that has a picture or two from the islands, you know, from Kauai, and there's a name listed there of a guy named Will Welsh. I Googled him. I'm like, okay, well, this guy was the stand-in for Harrison Ford. So I'm not going to get a hold of Harrison Ford, right? But I might be able to get a hold of this guy, Will. And I called him. I reached out, and he was like, okay, you still alive? You know? It's like
because they have several, I learned this like in a couple of documentaries. They have like a handful of stand-ins for Harrison Ford, and it was usually at different locations, right? So it was like, there was a couple, I think, in Kauai, then there was like a couple when they filmed elsewhere. But
it was just one in Kauai, him,
Okay,
and
so
then
he
the
was
one
him.
up in Tunisia. His stunt double was Vic Armstrong. He followed him throughout all the films. And the other, stand-in, because the stand-in basically is like, well, the director is getting the scene right with the lighting and the angles. Like, you have a person that looks the same height and build as that person, while the actor, the $1 million star over there, waits in his trailer to be called out to the set.
You can't be bothered.
Yeah, Will Welsh was that guy, and he was, you know, he worked in the industry a bit. He had been a stand-in for Charles Grodin for like 1970 whatever Kong movie. So he fit the bill. And he got the part, and he worked for a couple weeks doing it. So I called him up, and it was January of 2020 when I called him. I'll let you fill in the blank about what happened.
So this thing, this trip's on hold for a couple years, right?
Yeah, I just, you know, because I'm an extrovert, I talked to him. We just clicked, and you know, he's 80 something, and I'm, you know, younger than that. But I think he appreciated that there was a fan out there that made the effort. That wasn't like some crazy stalker. That just like, hey, this is pretty cool. You know, would you be open to like giving us a tour around the island and showing us where you filmed this stuff? He's like, sure. 2020 happened, and then delay. Eventually, because it's not like we can just go to Kauai like really easily. It's a big trip for me, let alone for my buddy over in England.
Yeah, man.
So it finally happened earlier this year, and he just turned 86. But he's a spry 86.
Dude, he's very spry.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to sit down with him and talk about his Indiana Jones. By the way, great interview. And like I said earlier, great editing in this video. But you got to sit down with him, and he was showing you guys some like exclusive pictures that like only he has that are in this video. Again, go check this video out. I'm telling you guys, it's worth your time. But how was that whole experience of just, you know, talking to somebody on the phone or online, and then you go meet him in person? Sometimes there's some awkwardness, but it seemed like that dude was just ready to go and go to some locations with you, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was all about it. He was proud of because he's like
as he should.
As we say in the video, like he's like, oh, if you blink and you miss me, I'm like, yeah, but that 1 second of you hopping across the stream is more than any of us have. You know, there's a connection.
That's eternal, man.
It's eternal, right? And there's no way we're going to get Harrison Ford. So I mean, he was just proud of his time and doing it, and as you see in the video, he's like, that's me up there, you know, and he's still he gets like giddy when he goes back to these locations. Cool. But it had been like 40 some odd years since filming. So he's like, I think it was over here. And maybe because he lives on the island, and he was showing us around.
45, I think is so it would have been 44, 45 when you guys were out there. That's crazy.
Yeah. And as we say in the video, like the thing with like the river, okay, we're crossing here, crossing there. Hurricanes hit that island a couple times over and just changed things. So he's like, this looks like it, but because in a studio you can control the environment. Mother Earth doesn't play that way.
Right. And I mean, you don't think is a good point that you made in the video is like, we think this is the river, but also 45 years of nature has happened. So like trees have grown and fallen and grown again. Like you don't, you know, there's no way to know, but you got the mountain in the video, which is cool. The Paramount fake thing or whatever, because I know in the documentary some of the guys were talking about what a pain in the ass it was to go find a mountain that was close because Spielberg wanted that fade in to start, you know, and so like they kind of bitched about it in documentary. But you also got to meet, which this stole the show for me, was a casting director.
Yeah.
And that's how did that come to be?
Yeah, well, just because of Will. Will knew him. He's like, let me see who I got on my phone here still. And he was calling people, and he got a hold of Tom Summers, the casting director for Kauai, who we're pretty sure was half baked when we met him. But
Dude, the energy was up. I was all about
he
it.
was all about it.
It was awesome.
And he's about the same age as Will, and he still works as a real estate agent in town. So, like, when we were at the Paramount logo location with Will, and he's like, let me call up Tom real quick. I'm like, Tom, the casting director, like, oh, we're going to get a bonus here. We didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And he called him up. He's like, yeah, come over. So we drove over there next and sat down with him for half an hour, and he was showing us his pictures. Like, these are, printed stuff that he had kept on for you. The OG production hat he still had that was hanging on by a thread. And just was very happy to tell his stories. I had to edit some of his stuff out because he was a little too scatterbrained sometimes. So I was like, that story didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
Was that him that was talking about the plane? Had a story about the plane in there? I don't want to spoil it again. Go watch this video. I really want you guys. Yeah. Go watch the video. But he had a funny story about the infamous plane. Infamous, I guess. The famous plane.
The famous plane, which through this has had the extremes of what my Alex goes through. We found out the plane does still exist, and it's at a small regional airport in Oregon. Because and this is we don't just visit sets, we visit props, Chris.
Yeah, dude. I mean, hey, it's a fun hobby to have. Me, Shadwick, and Leaf just drink as a hobby, so at least you're going out and doing something.
It gets us out of the house. Yeah, like you can go visit the tank. I think it's somewhere, I forget where, but you can visit the in Raiders when he does like the Jeep chase scene where he's like takes the hood ornament, like bends down, and he goes under. That's on display at the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland.
Oh wow!
You can go do that. So when we were in Disneyland together, he dressed up and hopped the security line and jumped on top of it. I'll send you the picture.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good one.
And he just like, okay, this is the last thing we're gonna do here today before they kick us out. So we did it really quick. We had the hood ornament, he had the full thing, and he jumped across the barrier and did it.
Nice.
Because you're gonna do it, Chris. Do it.
Yeah, do it. I mean, might as well go all the way. If they're gonna kick you out anyway, who cares? You got the picture.
Exactly.
That's all, and it has a good story with it, man. So
had good story. So props are included, but for Kauai, we did 4 locations. We did the Paramount logo. We did the stream crossing. We did the Menehune Pond, which is where the plane flies off in the distance, the big sunset shot before they pan to the future. And then the one we couldn't get quite close to because it's private property and men with big guns and dogs will be after us, would be the field scene where he's running down. He's like,
where he's running down the hill.
Start the engine. That thing. That's on Kipu Ranch. You can get to part of that, like he was showing us in the video, but it's private property, and the waterfall is completely closed off. And what I hear right now, because people actually died there.
Yeah, trying to go see it or just dying in general. So
just not being safe on the waterfall and slipping and falling and being human. So
yeah, I got you, man. Yeah. But dude, and you've done a lot of locations, so I want to include you whenever we start, doing more movies. Like I said, in The Princess Bride, I think I included that picture. It's pretty awesome with our shirt repping the brand out there. But what do you have a favorite one of the locations you've been to so far? Does this Kauai trip maybe hit the top now because of the people you met while you're there?
I don't know. It's like you talk about the Mount Rushmore of locations. And by the way, I confused a lot of Irish people wearing that shirt. Like, what's this? Be kind, we rhymed. They didn't know what I was doing because I was like, I was posing, and they're like, "Who's this guy?" Just another dumb American with words in their shirt. Yeah.
If you'd worn it in Pakistan, man, we're to crack the top 100 out there. So I'm just saying, we're making our way. Slowly.
You can easily spot Americans in the crowd overseas because we wear things with words on our shirts.
That's true. Yeah,
it just doesn't. That's not a thing over in other parts of the world. I think when we did it, Alex and I met back in 2016. We did like a 2-week road trip. We saw a bunch of movie locations. Usually the harder they are to find, the more rewarding they are and the more personal they are. We did ones for the movie Tremors out in Lone Pine, California, which was really cool. We dressed up a little bit.
Movie. Yeah.
Classic, what kind of genre does that fit into? And then we did there's a bunch of locations in Northern California that are posing as Germany for Last Crusade, Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay.
The scene where like the sidecar bike with him and his dad, and they're running through the mountains there in Germany. That's at Mount Tamalpais State Park, just north of San Francisco.
Okay.
And there's a scene where like they're being chased, and one bike splits off, like there's a split road. no one had any intel on this. So we actually called like the park ranger and asked him, like, do you know where this is? He's like, oh, that's at turn 3 over here. I'm like, I'm talking to the guy. So
that's cool.
Like
shit, man.
getting there was great. I would say getting to the location in Lake Powell, Arizona, which is where they filmed the last scene of Gravity. If you've seen the Sandra Bullock movie, where she, spoiler alert, actually goes back to Earth, crawls on shore, and walks away. It's a very distinct location. Through research online, I found a guy that was like on the set when that happened. So I texted him, he texted me back, and he told me the exact GPS location. So usually the sweeter, the victory. Dude. And nice. the hardest one I would say was one in Argentina.
Wow.
For remember the movie The Revenant?
Yes, the Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah. Yeah. So they ran out of snow in Canada for the last scene where he has the battle with Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you go to the obvious place, South America, Patagonia.
Hollywood's weird, man.
Because they had snow down there.
Right.
And the final battle's like in this riverbank there. Only thing I found online was the city and some Spanish guy Argentinian guy on YouTube talking about it. The rest of it was all sleuthing with Google Earth and everything and talking to a taxi driver in Argentina with my very limited Spanish.
Right.
But I found it.
Nice. Hey, that's all that matters, man. So as we wrap this up, man, end us with this. If you had to pick one line from Raiders of the Lost Ark, dude, what are you going home with?
Oh my gosh,
I know.
There's so many.
I should have prepped you for this, but I wanted to see to see the struggle on your face. One line.
Well, it's actually, I'll say there's kind of a combination here because it's with him and Marion, which I think is the heart of the story.
Oh yeah.
It's not the years, baby, it's the mileage. But in the same scene when she flips the mirror around, and he does that scream, they cut away to the outside.
Yeah, that's great. And I think as we all get older, we feel the not the years, it's the mileage.
Yeah, so, just everywhere hurts when you do anything physical.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite line?
Yeah, I said it right before we started, and it's snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? So that was the one I went with, man. So
are you anti-snake?
No, I like snakes. I don't know if it's the cadence in that line where he's just laying there, just defeated. Like I don't know what it is about that. Plus, that's been parodied 1,000 times in movies. Enter whatever word. Why does it have to be whatever word? So I don't know. That one always made me laugh. So guys, thanks for joining us. Ben, thank you so much for this. And like I said, go check out the video and tune in next week. We're going to have Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and that should be a fun one, man. So we'll see you guys next week.